Hey guys, this is Jaunzemis. I'm one of the top dating coaches and pickup artists in the world right now. Welcome to my seduction masterclass. This is lesson 1. We're calling this Pickup 101. I'm teaching you guys how to pick up hot women. We're going to be going over glossary and vocabulary terms. We're going to be going over how to start conversations with women. We're going to be discussing a few different styles. Whether you're looking to just get laid by a bunch of hot women, or whether you're looking to get a girlfriend, find a soulmate, find the perfect partner, or whether you're just a guy who wants to get more confident in social situations and be able to have, be cool, calm, collected, and be able to be that suave, charismatic guy, whether it's in a club talking to women or at a business meeting talking with other men, and being able to speak clearly and things like that. So we're going to go into deep stuff. Alright, so before we begin, hey guys, I'm Jaunzemis. I've been featured in Vice Media, H3H3, 7 Magazine, City Life, PUAlingo.com, listed with the other top 100 seducers in the world. Definitely check it out. I'll put a little link right here. They have a bio on me in there. Anyway, I want to talk about my job as a dating guru. So a lot of people, they toss that term around. Guru basically means master coach. So not only do I teach students, but I also teach other coaches how to be pickup coaches and things like that. Guru basically means that you have your own direct style. There's a lot of pickup gurus out there. You'll see tons of them on YouTube, and they have all their specific methods of how to pick up women. Some of these pickup gurus teach what's called the indirect method. Some of them teach the direct method. Some of them teach overtly sexual method. Some of them teach natural game. Some of them teach alpha game. Some of them teach social circle games. Some of them teach walk your dog in the park game. There's all kinds of different games and techniques. It's no different than going from one martial arts studio to another. This guy teaches kung fu. This guy teaches Tang Soo Do. This guy teaches a style that I know, Shorin-Ryu, and these people teach Taekwondo. They're all different fighting styles, but they all have their own little quirks and nuances and things like that. So the same with pickup. There's a lot of different pickup schools. These guys teach you how to, dress nice and be nice to women, and hopefully women will like you. And this guy over here teaches you how to be a smooth player and dress in a zoot suit and use crazy pickup lines. Now myself, I consider myself the style of what I like to call liquid, because I kind of take little bits from all of the different pickup schools. I go out and I try it. I see what works and what doesn't work for me, and then I create that into my own method. So I would consider myself like the Bruce Lee of pickup artists. So Bruce Lee basically took all these different styles, stuff from Kung Fu, he took stuff from Chinese Kempo and all these different types of martial arts, and he created Jeet Kune Do. So it's its own unique fighting style, and that's what I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you the Jaunzemis way to pick up women. So it's not any, you're definitely stuff if you're familiar with mystery method, if you're familiar with real social dynamics, if you're familiar with Bad Boy. All these people are people that mentored me 10, 15 years ago. Some of their stuff works, some of it not so much. So I take what works and I get rid of what doesn't work. Why you should listen to me? Why should you listen to me? I'm some random fuck on YouTube trying to teach you how to pick up women. I've got tattoos on my face. Why should you listen to me? Who the fuck am I? Well, the first thing you need to know about me is that I've had sex with over 200 different women. So that's not me bragging. That's me saying that I would say that because of that level of skill, I probably understand the gist of how pickup works. I probably understand how women work, and I can probably help you to have sex, not necessarily the results that I've got, but probably more than you're getting now, especially if you're a guy who's still a virgin. I've had a lot of clients that 40-year-old virgins, 45-year-old virgins, guys that just can't get laid. They come to me, they train with me for a couple weeks. Next thing you know, they have a girlfriend and they're getting laid. So I know that my method works. I've got all kinds of testimonials and things like that. And I've been doing this professionally since 2007. I've been on a 22-city tour with Bad Boy Lifestyle. I've taught literally hundreds of thousands of guys all over the world how to become more attractive and to get better in their dating lives. and I think I can help you too. I want you to watch this program and learn this stuff, because eventually I want you to call me up and take your game to the next level, and I'm hoping that you're going to hire me as your coach, where you're paying me $2,000 a day so that I can teach you even more of these secrets. How this program is set up. This is an introduction to game. This is not everything all in one package. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The things that I'm going to teach you in here are going to change your life. I'm going to talk about things that you have, most 99.9% of the world has never heard of or never thought of. The things I'm going to teach you, some of them are relatively easy, some of them are really going to be complex. But if you follow along, I think you'll definitely get it. And it's just like a little chunk of information. See, there's an old quote that goes, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. I'm just going to give you little bits of information, as much as you can handle. And after this program's done, I want you to go out and really try some of these techniques and see how it works. And if it's right for you, and you can take it to the next level, and so on and so forth. And I've also got literally like over 200 videos now on YouTube with dating and relationship advice. So there's a whole playlist on that. It's called Ryan Jaunzemis, Master Pickup Artist. Definitely go check it out. Who is this program for? I think that's an important question, because I don't want to waste your time. You know, everybody's busy. To be frank with you, this program's for any guy who, again, wants to get laid. And not just laid, I mean laid by hot women. This program is for guys who want to get a girlfriend. So many people ask me, oh, I don't want to just pick up women. I want to find love. I want a girlfriend. Perfectly fine. You can use the techniques to just have sex with women and then dump them afterwards, or you can use it to get a girlfriend. And then again, if you're a guy who just wants to understand social dynamics and understand the way that pickup and attraction works, and be able to go into any room and basically own the room, be able to walk up to perfect strangers and start conversations and just be that, you know, socially savvy guy, confident guy, fun guy, then this program is definitely for you. Who is it not for? If you're the kind of guy who says, oh, this is cringe, oh, this stuff never works, if you're the kind of person that gets offended and thinks that you know, you're supposed to be nice and buy women gifts and chocolates and, you know, shower roses at your feet, and you know, if you're trying that and you're definitely getting laid by lots of women, hey, you don't need this. I'm going to suggest that you're probably not, because that approach doesn't work. So if you're that type of guy who believes in the Disneyland fairy tale stuff, this program is definitely for you. It's time to to stop taking those blue pills rectally, and let's give you some real red pill truths right here. And again, after this program, if you enjoy my work, please like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate that. If you see this and you find some value in it, and you think some of your friends who aren't getting laid either could really get some value out of this, just share the video and be like, hey, check this guy out. He's a pickup artist. Like, what do you think about this? And send it over and see what they say. Help me get a couple more likes and shares and move that algorithm up so I can build this business and this brand. All right, please note, all of my work is copyright. That is books, CDs, DVDs, YouTube videos, merch, etc. And I have a lot more of this stuff on YouTube. I've got a best-selling book called 10 Steps to Success. And if you like this program, then you should definitely check out that, because that's like all the secrets in a 400-page book. But I always encourage people to share my work with others. My only request, I have no problem if anybody shares any of my stuff, uses my music, uses, you know, quotes from this program or anything like that. I ask you, though, to please give credit to the source. Thank you. Basically, if you use anything, just if you sample something on your YouTube video, whether you like what I'm doing or you hate what I'm doing, and you're like, you want to try to make fun of this guy and say, look at this pickup artist, look at this cringe, and you put on your channel, that's fine. Please take the YouTube link and put it in the down bar and just say source video. That's all I ask. And you're welcome to use any of my stuff. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so let's start off. Write down my contact information. If you're at home, get your phone out. If you're on your phone, grab a piece of paper, go into Notepad or whatever. Ryan Jaunzemis, and that is Jaunzemis. My phone number, this phone right here, this is my business phone. This is for business, for fans. This is the number that's all over the web, 702-417-7714. That number goes directly to this phone. Call it if you're interested in getting a coaching session with me, or DM me on Instagram or Facebook, or leave comments below on my YouTube or whatever. But if you call that number, then I'll call you back and we can go from there. You're already on my YouTube, youtube.com/Ryan Jaunzemis. My Instagram is @Jaunzemis. My Facebook is facebook.com/Ryan Jaunzemis. I link everything to my last name. It's much easier that way. So it's very easy to find me on social media. And Facebook group, if you're interested in this type of stuff and you want to get with other guys that are also into this stuff, this is facebook.com/groups/the Las Vegas Lair, the Las Vegas Pickup Artist Lair. So myself and my wingman Christian S. Valentino run that, and you're welcome to join that group and chat with other guys who are in. If you're in Las Vegas and you're looking for a wingman and you're looking for guys to go out to clubs and hang out with and try to meet girls, that's a good resource right there. All right, and again, if you call that number, I'm available for exclusive, live, in-field, one-on-one, private coaching. All of them have different types of things. You know, this 2 hours is kind of an intro to game. You know, you're gonna do some basic approaches, and $1,000 for 4 hours. You're gonna get approach time, you're gonna get seminar time, and then you're gonna get lifestyle, fashion advice, and then the 8-hour package that usually clients will split into 2 4-hour sessions, because 8 hours is a lot to invest in your time, like a whole day. But it involves seminar, approaching, body language. We'll be going to the mall, getting a makeover from head to toe, helping you with fashion advice, lifestyle advice, manicure, pedicure, basically turn you into that high value man that women want, and that's the real deal. And then of course Skype, Zoom, and phone coaching. I do $99 for an hour, and that's where basically we get on, you pay $100, we get on Zoom for an hour, talk about all kinds of questions that you have about women, who should pay on the first date, what do I do to kiss her, how do I ask her out. That's where you get to talk to a professional one-on-one for an entire hour, all about your specific sticking points. And then of course, to really step up your game, if you want to do the ongoing phone coaching, you can get half-hour sessions for $50, which is where every week, then you're basically doing like a half an hour call, helps you to stay accountable. You just kind of check in every Wednesday. I give you a call, you pay $50, we talk for 30 minutes. Hey, how's your game going? You know, what did you try this week? What worked? What didn't work? Okay, this week I want you to try this. And that's an ongoing thing. So that's really, really a good resource if you're ready to step up your game and get this part of your life handled. All right, what does success in pickup look like for you? What does success look like in this area of approaching and picking up women for you? Yes, there are tons of answers to this question, and every man's answer and or opinions and or goals and or mission objectives, etc., are going to be different. And that's okay. You need to figure out what success with pickup and approaching women is going to look like for you personally, okay? Not the next man. A lot of guys are always like, well, should I pick up women because it's going to make me look cool? And it's like, no. What do you want? You know, are you looking for a girlfriend? Are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking to find a wife? Or do you want to find like the perfect partner? Do you want to find, you know, just a girl that you want to have sex with? Some guys just want to get laid. Some guys want a relationship. Like, you have to figure out what you want. Example, is success for you being able to pick up any girl? Is it being able to get a girl's phone number or get a date? Is it being able to approach hot girls, the 9s and the 10s? Is it to look cool in front of your friends? Is it to find one special girlfriend, partner, soulmate? Is it to learn how to be that fun, social, confident guy who can just go out and mingle with people and, quote, own the room? Or just feel more confident, comfortable, etc. in your own skin? Or in any other business/social situation? So I want you to think about this question for a few moments. Write down your answers. So remember, no one is judging you here. This is all about you and your specific goals and or objectives, etc., in which you want to achieve for yourself and for your own life, right? So go ahead and just take a second to write that down. So where are you at right now versus where do you want to be? Now, if you look on the diagram right here, this is our starting point. This is our goal. We got to figure out how to bridge the gap. All you got to do is figure out what is the step-by-step process to get you to what you want. So the first thing we want to do is figure out where are you at right now. Okay, that's the present. This is where we're at right now. Right now in life, this is where I'm at. What is your vision for the future? Okay, what are you trying to accomplish? What is your goal? What's your dream? Where do you want to be 6 months to a year from now? And then take that question to the next level. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? Where do you want to be 10 years from now? And you got to see yourself in there. So we want to write that down. Success with approaching women looks like blank for me. A personal story. Now that you've written down what success looks like for you, I want to share with you a personal story of myself. What success in a nightclub looks like for me. Okay, when I first got into the game, right, the dating game, one of my mentors asked me the same exact question. My response at the time was that I just wanted to be able to approach girls, quote, confidently, and get, quote, dates, and ultimately get a girlfriend who I was going to settle down with, and so that I could, quote, live like a normal fucking human being, right? Because I couldn't get laid. I was a fucking incel. Well, after I spent a few months learning this type of material, it actually happened. I ended up getting a real girlfriend. And then, over time, as my, quote, game got better, I ended up breaking up with that girl, and then I got an even hotter girlfriend. And I got many, many more after that. After I got good at this stuff, over the course of the next several months and years, I was soon easily able to achieve these things. That is, going out and getting a new girlfriend and getting laid. And soon, I developed many new goals. Okay, so first, I reached my goal. All I wanted to do was get a fucking girlfriend. Well, I got her. And after that, I got so good at the game, I got another girlfriend. Then I got rid of her and I got an even hotter girlfriend. So my goals, I reached those goals and then I was looking for the next goal. My new goals now were that I wanted to be able to go out to a nightclub and make out with, quote, 10 different girls in the same night. That was my new goal. I wanted to be this player. Like, I'm good, I can get laid now. I want to make out with 10 girls at the same time. And to be able to get one-night stands even faster and more frequently. After I achieved that goal, my new goal was that I wanted to have sex with over 100 different women. And at the time, I had been with about 30 or 40 girls. Well, a few years passed, and then it happened. And a few more years went by, and I broke 200. And with my training, you can do it too. Okay, I can teach you all of this and more. Now, about your specific goals. Now, you might be hearing this and really resonating and getting hyped up and wanting to learn all of these new secrets of how to attract hot women. Or you might be hearing this and thinking to yourself that this is just way too much, and that you don't want to just get laid, and that all you want is one simple girlfriend. Well, either of those thoughts and or desires and or goals, etc., are okay. Both of these things can happen here. I can teach it all to you. And then you can pick and choose what works for you and your style and or personality. And then use the tools that I'm giving you to meet those specific goals. It's all up to you. Note, this is not something I can just teach you in 5 short minutes. This is not a magic pill program. Note, this is not guru land where I just give you some random motivational speech like telling you to fucking believe in yourself and go out there and make it happen. What I'm teaching you here are the real secrets to attracting hot women. And in my full trainings, the ones that I have on my YouTube or the ones that you're paying me $2,000 a day for, those last several hours and or several days in some cases. That's in order to download you all of the real, correct, life-changing information and secrets. This program is just a simple introductory program to give you a small, quote, taste test of the type of things that I teach. 90-day challenge. What if you were to dedicate the next 90 days of your life to this process? What do you think might happen? If you're watching this program, it is most likely because you have not been able to achieve success with approaching the types of hot women that you want. I challenge you to decide right now that you're going to dedicate the next 90 days to learning and practicing this material in real life and on real women. So again, that doesn't mean that you watch this program, get all the way through it, and then boom, all of your problems have been solved. That's not the way this stuff works. This is going to require you to, one, watch this program, and then two, to actually leave your house and go out into the real world and go out to real life bars, clubs, grocery stores, etc., and actually start approaching real live women and groups of women and their friends, and actually start putting this stuff into practical application. Okay, like you really have to get out of the house and do this. You can't just sit around and watch Ryan Jaunzemis explain to you how to pick up girls on YouTube. You actually have to leave your house and actually talk to real girls. That's how this stuff works. This is not a video game. This is something that you do in real life. You don't play the game in your mind. You actually go out and play it in the real world. So remember, you don't learn the martial arts by reading a book or watching one or two Bruce Lee or Jet Li movies or watching Cobra Kai on Netflix. You learn by actually getting into the ring and actually sparring with another person and practicing the techniques over and over again, sometimes for years and years at a time before you become a master. The same goes with pickup. You can read all the material, you can watch all of the YouTube videos, the books, DVDs, the seminars, etc., etc. But until you actually get out there and put what you learn into practice, you're never going to get any of the real results that you want with hot women. You take the necessary time needed in order to practice and learn this type of material, and then start going out and really take action. Fully immerse yourself into this process. You have to eat, sleep, breathe, bleed, and shit pickup for the next 90 days. Okay, make it your entire life. Make it, dedicate yourself right now to say, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make this happen. For the next 90 days, I'm gonna, if you have to quit your job, fine. If you gotta, if you gotta not clean your house or do the dishes for 90 days so that you can just focus on pickup, just learn pickup. Wake up, read pickup books, watch YouTube videos, and then actually go out, go to grocery stores, go to Vaughn's, go to Smith's, go to Whole Foods, go to Walmart, go to Target, and just start talking to girls. Just walk up, hey guys, just wanted to say hi, I thought you're cute. Just start talking to these girls. Make it a part of your life. Anyway, if you like what you heard so far, and you're ready to stick with it, take a 10-minute break, go get some drink or some water or whatever, and when we get back, we'll get into it. All right, section 2, approaching basics. We're going to get into actual physical approaching now. Before we start this next section, I need to let you know that I'm not just teaching you, quote, theory here. I'm teaching you what really works. What I'm about to teach you will yield real results with women. What I'm going to teach you here today has worked for me, my friends, my students, my clients, and other PUAs, pickup artists, all over the world. This stuff has been tried, true, and field tested. This is the real deal. So get ready. All right, this is not bullshit here. I'm not just making this stuff up. I've had sex with over 200 different women. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it yourself. First thing you need to understand is the 3-second rule. 3SR, for short. Everything in the pickup community, or our lexicon is what we call it, is shorthand. It's very easy. Once you understand how to speak pickup, then you'll be able to, if you're with a wingman, if you're with me out in the field, I would just, if you started stalling, I would say 3SR, and you'd go, oh, 3-second rule. I gotta go into set. The 3-second rule, 3SR, states you have 3 seconds from the time that you see your target, that's the girl that you want, to stop whatever that you're doing and approach her. That is, to intercept, or to, quote, open. So that means if we're standing at the mall at the food court and a pretty girl walks by, the 3-second rule stops you from creating negative situations in your head where you, oh, I don't know if I should approach her, like there's a lot of people around, What if I approach her and then I stumble over my feet and I trip and everybody laughs at me? So a lot of people, they start creating these negative images in their head of stuff that is all hypothetical. It's not actually based in reality. In real life, there's a pretty girl, go approach her. So that when you obey the 3-second rule, in fact, I won't say obey, I'll say you worship the 3-second rule. That means you stop what you're doing, you put your drink down, or whatever you're doing, if you're on your phone, you put your phone in your pocket, you have 3 seconds to stop what you're doing and open the set, to walk over and be like, hey, what's up? And just talk to her. And we're going to talk about exactly what you're going to say later on in this section. But if you don't obey the 3-second rule, that's when you go into what we call analysis paralysis. Now you start thinking of these situations and you're like, oh, well, what do I say? What do I do? No. We're gonna get rid of all that. But the first thing you need to understand is this is a commandment. You will worship the 3-second rule. That's just the way that it works. Understanding basic group theory, dynamics, and sets. So a set is a person or a group of people. That's just the way that we refer to it. Anytime you see people, they are sets, and I'm going to tell you how they break apart. We're going to discuss red hoop theory. That's a visualization exercise for pickup artists. Now, this is a set. Okay, this slide right here is a meme, obviously, but I want you to take what I'm showing you right here and learn from it. So, for example, this is what we call a set. So this is you see obviously a blonde girl and a brunette. Let's call the blonde girl the target because she's obviously prettier than the brunette, and I like blonde, so she would be my target. Now, if it was you and you really like brunettes, maybe that's your target, but that's not the point of this exercise. So let's just say this is a 2 set because it's 2 people, and what I like to do is visualize a red hoop over the top. So if that's a 2 set, what is this? What am I? If you thought of a red circle and thought 1 set over the top, you would be correct. I am by myself, so I'm a 1 set. They are 2 people, so they're a 2 set. And if there was 3 people, it would be a 3 set. That's correct. And if there was 4 people, that would be a 4 set. There you would be correct. And if there was 8 people, that's where I got you. If it's 8 or more people, it's called a superset. We're going to get deeper into that, and the reason this is so important is because this is the way that we communicate to each other. As a pickup artist, we speak in shorthand. That's just the way this works. So if I'm here, let's say in real life, because the person who took the picture actually was my wingman, who was actually taking this picture. So if my wingman put the camera down, I'll pretend that I'm my wingman, and then we'll call this person the PUA who's about to approach the target, and we'll call myself the wingman. We're a 2 set and they're a 2 set. And in pickup, it would be very easy for me to just lean over and say, hey, why don't you go open the target of that 2 set? And then as a PUA, he's going to know exactly what I mean. He's saying, okay, I've got to obey the 3-second rule, and I'm going to approach the blonde girl in a group of 2 people. So I'm approaching a target of a 2 set. The other girl, we call her the obstacle. The obstacle will be any person within the set who is not the target. Here's another example. This is a 3 set. So, again, we have the blonde, I would call her the target, and then I have a set with 2 obstacles. So this is a 3 set. This would be, let's say, obstacle 1, O1, and this is going to be obstacle 2. We'll call her O2. So, when I'm dealing with a 3 set, I don't really need a wingman so much, because if there's 3 people and I go in to talk to the target, the other 2 girls, they can talk to each other while I talk to the target. But if it's a 2 set, like the other one, and I talk to the target, the friend will get bored. She may try to CB me, cock block me. It may piss her off, right? Which is why we need a wingman to work a 2 set. So we talked about regular sets, just with girls, okay? The 2 set, 2 girls, 3 set, 3 girls. Now I want to talk about a mixed set. A mixed set is a group of people consisting of both males and females. So for example, if there was one guy and 1 girl, she's still the target and he's still the obstacle. There's still a 2 set, but it's a mixed set because it's both male and female. And then I say etc. because it could be a girl and a gay friend, or it could be transsexual, anything like that. Well, we'll just call that a mixed set. So as a pickup artist, you might say, I'm going to go open that 3-set mixed set. Superset. A superset is any group of 8 or more people. So for example, an 8-set superset, a 9-set superset, a 12-set superset. In Las Vegas, you will see supersets all the time, especially around the Wynn or any type of place that there's a wedding going on, because you're going to see a bachelorette party with 8 different girls. So there's going to be a bride, and you'll see all the bridesmaids, and there'll be like 8 of them or 12 of them, and they're all dressed up and getting drunk and stuff like that. So it's very easy as a pickup artist in the club to just be like, there's a bachelorette superset over there. There's like 10 hot girls over there, and that's a really good set to open. Okay, a subset. This is any group of people who have temporarily broken off or broken apart from a larger set. So for example, if you see like a superset of 8 people, there's 8 people talking. After there's 5 people in one conversation, 5 people cannot hold one conversational topic for any long period of time. If there was, let's say, 5 people right here, and they're all talking about this person got a new dog. They're going to talk about her dog. Oh, wow, that's such a cute dog. She'll show some pictures. But pretty soon, these 2 people are going to get into their own little conversational thread, and then these 3 people will keep talking. But you can't have 5 or more people talking about the same subject for any extended period of time. It just doesn't happen in social dynamics. And that's important to know, because if these 2 people break off, and what we call is the invisible curtain theory, and so it'll look like these 3 people are a separate 3-set, and this is now a separate 2-set. So we call that a 2-set subset and a 3-set subset. And that's really important to remember, because if I don't know that all these people are together and I enter into the 2-set because this is my target, the problem is any of these 3 other people will immediately say, well, who's this guy talking to our friend? And then all of a sudden I can get bombarded. They're going to blow me out of set, because now I have all these other people that I have to deal with. Instead of just 1 obstacle, I now have 4 obstacles to deal with. And I don't want to juggle 4 obstacles. That's a lot of work. Again, if I have a wingman, he can come in and distract these 3 people if we know that this is a subset. And then, of course, then I can work just the target and 1 obstacle, which is much easier for me to immediately just come in and be like, hey, you guys are pretty cute. I've got to go in a second. I was just wanting to get your number. I can get the target's number. I can say hello to the obstacle. I won't alienate her, and then I'll leave, but I don't have to deal with the other 3 people. Forwards merge, right? Forwards and backwards merging. Forwards merge is transitioning from your current set into the next set. Could be a set right next to you, an adjacent set. It could be a set across the room or anything like that. But let's say I go into a 2-set and I'm talking to these girls. I would like to forward merge them into the next set. Now, say for example, my real target is in the next set, and it's a hot girl with 2 guys, right? And it could be her. That could be her brother, and it could be her other gay guy friend. We don't know. It could be her boyfriend, it could be her dad. I don't know yet. But I just see a hot girl with 2 guys. And then I see this 2-set with 2 average looking girls that are like 6s, 6'5", or maybe 7s. What I would do as a pickup artist is enter into this 2-set first as my warm-up set. Talk to these 2 girls, who's not necessarily my target, or they're just 2 girls that I'm going to talk to for a second, and then I'm going to say, hey, let's go meet some friends, take my arm. Now I have 2 pretty girls on my arm, and I walk in, I forward merge into the next set with my real target, and she's got 2 guy friends, and I say, hey, how do you guys know each other? And she says, oh, this is my brother, and this is my, my friend from work, and he's gay, and he goes, hey, right? So I'm like, oh, he's gay, that's her brother. So this girl is, this is open country right here. I could go. So what I do is I take the 2 girls that I have, I'll call them pawns, and I'll pawn them off to these guys to distract them with, hey, have you met my friend? This is Kimberly, and this is Joanna. And of course, Kimberly and Joanna, for example, they start talking to the dudes. That gets them out of set. I pawn them off, and I take the queen. And then I'm like, so, how's her night going, right? Now I start working my real target. So that's forward merging. And then there's backwards merging, which is transitioning from your current set into a previous set. Let's say it didn't work out with the hot girl and her friend and her gay friend, and I'm just like, oh, there's no attraction here. This isn't working. Like this, I didn't know that she was married. I didn't see her wedding ring. Her husband's in Iraq in the military. This is not a good target. This is a dead set. It's not working. I can always just leave that set and go back to the original set that I was in with the two girls that are with 7. So basically, then I'll say like, hey, well, it was nice meeting you guys. Hey, girls, I wanted to show you this thing. You know, take my arms, right? And then we leave. So basically, I had forward merge, and then I backwards merge into my original set. And then, of course, if I had opened other sets previous to that, then I would keep backwards merging. Maybe I don't like these girls, but I can use them to forward merge into a new set. Anything like that. So you're always forward and backwards merging through these sets. And by the way, I didn't say it before. As a pickup artist, we don't wait until the girl goes to you know, her friends go to the bathroom, and then she's like sitting by herself, so you can like, oh, I can't wait till the friends leave so I can prey on the girl by herself. We don't do that as pickup artists. We approach the entire group, because the best thing that you can do is become friends with her friends and get the peer approval. It's much better for me if I see a girl and she's with, let's say, her friend. If I'm become friends with her friend, then her friend is going to say good things about me to basically sell me off to the target. She's going to be, oh man, that guy was super cool. Like, wow, he was so amazing. And then the target's going to go, you know what, he was. I think I will call him back. So by me approaching the whole group and befriending the whole group, it's going to get me what I want much faster than trying to wait till her friend leaves and then sneak in there and go, hey, what's up? Like, right? That's kind of creepy. All right, so let's talk about players in the game. We're basically like reading the instruction. This is really the intro to game. If you don't know all this basic stuff, then all the pickup line, I could give you the best pickup lines in the world, but you won't know what's going on. Anyway, so PUA, pickup artist. All right, that's any person that practices the art of seduction. Okay, if that person is working with a wingman, then the PUA will then be known as the primary. All right. Note, there are several different levels in PUA. A PUA is an aspiring PUA, or sometimes we call him a GPUA, a green PUA. He's green, he's not quite ripe yet. An MPUA, which is a master pickup artist. And then there's a PUG, like myself, which is a pickup guru. Wingman, an accomplice in set. That's any male friend who knows, let's say, quote, the game, who knows about this type of stuff. This is the game that we're talking about, and is helping you to get to your target. A wing woman or a wing girl is a female wingman. A female who knows the game and is either a friend helping you to get to your target, or she can also be a sexual partner who is trained in the art of seduction, an FPUA, a female PUA, and who is helping you hunt in tandem for an additional partner or partners, also referred to as tandem hunting. So this is really fun. When you really get into the game and you start really understanding how attraction works, pretty soon some of the girls that are your targets you'll eventually have sex with them. They'll eventually become your girlfriend, and some of those girls will be bisexual, and you will teach them the game. You'll teach them how to approach the stuff that I'm going to teach you in the second half of this program, and then you and your new girlfriend will be able to go out and open sets. You'll be talking to other 2 sets of bisexual girls, and you'll be able to basically have threesomes and foursomes with all of them. Once you're able to attract a bisexual target who you're already having sex with, she wants to meet other girls anyway, so next thing you know, there's a girl at a club, you guys can approach her together and hunt in tandem. So that's really the best. Going out with a wingman is great. Going out with a wing woman, that's 10 times better. Okay, target we talked about. That's the girl who you want to attract. The obstacle, that's anyone in the set who is not the target. Like we talked about again, and then we can defer to them as O1, O2, O3, depending on how many obstacles there are. And that's a good way when you're talking to your wingman. Maybe you can call her best friend as you're talking to like the girl and 2 of her friends. Maybe you can call this obstacle O1 and O2, obstacle 1 and obstacle 2. And you might be getting along with this girl, but this girl's kind of a bitch. So you can basically go to your wingman and be, hey, can you handle obstacle 2? Because she's fucking really out of sorts. So that way you'll be able to work this, and then your wingman, he can come in and distract obstacle 2 to get her off your back so that you can work the target and get your number. Okay. CB, cock block. That's any obstacle who is stopping you from advancing with your target. Now, not all obstacles are cock blocks. In fact, a lot of them can actually help you out in set. I've been in set with, let's say, a girl and her brother. We're out in Vegas. And I became friends with the brother. And the brother was basically handing his sister over on a silver platter to me. Me and him were cool. Like, I'm a rollerblader and he was also a rollerblader. And we just started talking rollerblade talk. We're like, oh man, did you ever get to skate in Cali? And I go, yeah, like, you know, because I was telling him, I was like, yeah, Unity the Blue Beast. And he's like, oh man, it's so fucking crazy. Yeah, I love that. You know, man, I remember the skating day. And we started talking, and he's like, well, and I was like, is this, who's your friend? Is this your girlfriend? He's like, no, this is my sister. And then he was basically like, oh man, you got to meet this guy. He skates too, just like me. Oh my God, fuck. And she was all excited, like, because he was excited. So he basically, because I made him a friend, I befriended the obstacle, he handed me the target, and at the end of the night, I got both of their numbers. Of course, I'm going to grab his number too, because he was a cool guy. We could go skating together. But I also got her number, and we ended up having sex next week. So, you know what I mean? Okay, AMOG. That is the alpha male of the group. That is the male in the group who appears to be the most dominant or the leader, etc. He may be the target's boyfriend, the husband, the brother, the father, cousin, a male friend, etc. Usually you could tell the AMOG because if there's a girl and there's a couple guys, then there'll be the one guy who's a little more jacked, he's a little taller, and he kind of like, you know, he's like the leader of that group, right? And a lot of times you got to get through the AMOG in order to get to the target. But sometimes it's just a girl and it's with a guy, like a mixed set, and we'll always just defer to whatever. If that's the only guy in the group, then he's the AMOG. And sometimes the AMOG might be a short little dude, and you can do what's called AMOG him, right? So you got to out alpha him in a way. So for example, sometimes you're dealing with an AMOG. I like to do this one where you basically want to punk him a little bit and kind of come up to the next level of social stature. So he thinks he's this dope and he thinks he's running the game. You walk up to him and you disarm him by saying, hey bro, what's up? You give him a high five and you go, dude, I love your shirt, bro. I used to have the same one in 8th grade, man. That shit's tight. And he'll be like, right? Used to have the same one in 8th grade. It kind of basically says that his shirt is way out of style, and obviously like you're cool, but I'm kind of making fun of him in a way. And when the target sees that, she goes, oh shit, like this guy just punked him, so he must be more alpha. And so that'll trigger the attraction. Then opposite of the AMOG is the AFOG, the alpha female of the group. Right? So she's a female AMOG, also known as what we call the mother hen or mama bear. And girls, any girls that are watching this at home, they all know exactly who Mama Bear is, because that's the girl in the group. She's the mother hen. She watches over all the chicks, right? So if you're in a let's say a 3 set and that's your target, this might be the AFOG, and she's like the mother hen. She's usually the bigger, fatter girl of the group. She's usually not as attractive, but you know, and then this girl's kind of like, she's kind of attractive, or maybe she's really attractive too. But she's the one, the AFOG, she's the one who's going to check you in set. So when you walk up and you go, hey guys, let me, you guys seem cool, I want to ask you a question. She's going to be like, what? Why should we answer? Like, she's going to get up in your face. You're going to be like, the good way to disarm the AFOG is to be like, oh, hold on, let me guess. You're like the mother hen of the group. You like to watch out for your girls. You know what? You're the cock block of the group. You can even tell them that, and she'll be like, "Yeah, I am. I'm the cock block." And you'll be like, "You know what? I'm actually the cock block in my group. I like to look over after my friends too. If some random person came up and started talking to my friends, I would probably check them too. You know what? I can respect that." And you give her a fist bump, and then she'll be like, "Huh? All right." Like, because you kind of show that you understand her mentality and what she's doing. If you pass her little shit test, then the mother hen will kind of back off and let you talk to the chicks. You get what I'm saying? All right, so then there's the gay mog or gay fog. So that's the gay male or the gay female of the group. And then there's transmog or transfog, which are transsexual male or female of the group. And let me tell you, especially in Vegas, you're going to meet sets of people, all kinds of different people. And that's something you got to get ready for. If you're a person that's uncomfortable with that kinds of things, it's time to get over it. Because there's people of all different sexual natures. And sometimes you're going to see a hot girl who's hanging out with her grandma and a transsexual. And that's a 3-set. And if you want that target, then you've got to deal with grandma and you've got to deal with this transsexual. And there's a funny story where one of my wingman, I was in a set, I was gaming the target, and then her friend was a transsexual. She was about this tall. You could see the bulge, right? And you could see the Adam's apple. And, hey, how you doing? Smoking a cigarette. And my wingman, his job right there to distract the transmog while I work the target in this 2-set. So my wing is basically talking to the transmog, going, you know, hey, like, how's your night going? Like, hey, I really like your style. Like, who does your hair? Like, so are your nails real? Like, wow. Like, and so my wingman is just talking to the tranny, and I'm over here working the target. I was like, well, it looks like they're getting along. Look, you know, you guys are probably hanging out, and I'm with my friend or something, but, you know, I'll give you a call next week. Got her number real quick. Boom. Right? So sometimes you're going to have to work crazy sets like that. All right, players in the game continue to. In HG, a hired gun. This is a woman who's hired for her beauty. Any girl who is working on the clock when you approach her. For example, a waitress, a hostess, a stripper, a model, a go-go dancer, a bartender, strap girl, secretary, nurse, Uber, Lyft driver, whatever. So if you want to get technical, it's usually more of like the hot girls that are specifically hired. But I find it easier to just start calling any girl who's on the clock, who's working, call her the HG. It's just easier, I think. Because when you're in set, and then you're just like, oh, you know, you're with your wingman, and you say, hey, I'm going to go try to hit on that hired gun over there. And you see a girl who's like a, you know, a receptionist or something like that in the hotel lobby. You'll see the receptionist. I'm going to go hit on that hired gun. And sometimes, you know, one of my wingman, he's like super analytical with the game. So he's kind of like, I don't know if you really class her as a hired gun. Like, she's not really a hot shot girl. She's kind of like she's like a 7 out of 10 receptionist or something. And it's like, dude, I'm going to go hit on the hired gun at the fucking receptionist. Just wait here. And I'll go in and I'll try to talk to the receptionist real quick. Hey, look, I thought you were real cute. If you want, maybe if you want to exchange numbers, I'll try to, you know, hit you up. I'll text you later and try to convince you to come out and have a drink or something like that. And she'll be like, oh yeah, sure, right? That's all you got to do. NPC, non-player character, right? I like to think of this any other person or people walking around in the surrounding area and or vicinity of the set, but who are not part of the interaction, etc. Also known as phantoms. So this is one of those things that will really change your whole life if you start looking at it this way. When you start to say, hey, look, I'm here to talk to this 2-set, I'm here to get this girl's number, but yeah, there's 100 people around you looking at you. You just have to start seeing those people like a video game. Like, those are the non-player characters. They're the, you know, when you play The Legend of Zelda and you walk into, you know, the merchant shop to buy the bigger shield or the blue ring or something like that, that's an NPC. Like, he's not really part of the game. You're just, and then there's other people that are just walking around in the game, but they don't really have a part. They're just like this random character. Like, that's why I like to call them NPCs, or I like to call them phantoms. They're just like ghosts hanging out. So don't focus on anybody else watching you or what you're doing. Just focus on, my job as a pickup artist is to get her number and to have sex with her. The rest of these people, I don't give a fuck about them. Okay. Pivot. A pivot is a female friend and or escort, if you hire them, who does not necessarily know the game, but to whom you can use in field for help with the diffusion of obstacles and to help demonstrate pre-selection in order to raise your levels of social proof and sexual marketplace value. In essence, to pivot off of. So for example, I'm hanging out with a girl. Let's call her Kimberly. She doesn't know the game or what I do, but we're just hanging out at the club, and just by hanging out and being next to her, other girls will notice that, and that's what's called pre-selection, because now it looks like one girl, I've attracted one girl. Doesn't mean I'm having sex with her, doesn't mean anything. We're just hanging out, but other women will notice, hey, a female is within the company of that guy, so he must be higher value, because women are hypergamous in nature, which means they only date across and up. They only date guys on their level or above. So if I'm with a girl, let's say a 7, then a girl will immediately see that I'm either a 7 or above, because I'm with a girl who's a 7, and girls only date across and up. So it's a good way to basically demonstrate value faster. If I was just in the club by myself, girls don't know. I could be a trash man. I could be anybody. I might be a man of lower value. But if I walk into the club with a girl who's a 7 or an 8, then I'm at least a 7 or an 8 already in their eyes. And if I say the right things, she might perceive me to be a 9 or a 10. So basically what you're doing is you're pivoting off of her. Kind of like if I needed a boost, I could stand on this table and then pivot off of that. And of course you can use her to introduce you to other girls. So you could say, hey, like, I like that girl, why don't you introduce me? She would walk over first and be like, hey, that's my friend over there, he thought you were cute, I wanted to introduce you guys. And the girl would be like, she's more susceptible to the open. So that's a good way to open a set. A pawn is similar to a pivot. We discussed that earlier, but who is a female who you have not previously met. So again, like a pawn, like I said earlier, when I entered the 2 set with like Kimberly and whatever I called the other girl, and then before I moved to get the queen, I used those as pawns. I haven't actually met those girls. I approached them in the club, and they became my pivots. That's why I call them pawns, right? So in AFC, the average frustrated chump, right? That's the average guy who does not get results with women. No, in AFC, in transition to an APUA or GPUA, will first be known as an RAFC, a recovering average frustrated chump, right? So that's the guy who's like, you have an average frustrated chump, which is most guys in the club. You see them, they're sitting around drinking a beer, and they look at hot girls, and they don't ever get any action because they don't know how to approach women. And then you've got the RAFC, who's, you may be in that category now if you're watching this at home, and you've always been the guy who can't get girls. Now you're starting to see the light, and you're like, oh wow, there's a structure to this game, and if I understand the structure, I can start getting results. You can consider yourself an RAFC, like you're the recovering average frustrated chump, and you're moving into becoming a GPUA, and then later when you start getting results with women, when you're out having sex with 2 to 3 new girls a week, and you become a PUA, and then later a master PUA. It's all just stepping stones. All right, a TG, a tailgater. So this is a person in your set who does not yet know the game. He's usually an RAFC or a GPUA, who is trying to watch your interactions with women and learn, but who mostly just stands around and stares, and will also usually slow down your gaming process. So this is the guy, you start getting some results, you start getting some consistent results really, and then your friends are going out with you and they're like, well, I want to learn what you're doing. I want to learn these techniques of how to pick up girls. And so you're going out and you're talking to girls, getting results, and you got this guy who call him a TG, who's basically standing there watching you game. Might be taking notes, might be writing them on his phone, but he just stands there like a creeper, and sometimes girls will notice and they'll be like, what's with that dude? And then you're like, oh fuck, like this guy's, it's, as much as you want to help out your friend, he's kind of killing your game at the same time because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just going to slow down your process. So it's just something to warn. And you can even tease him about, you're the TG right now, and you can kind of fuck with him a little bit, and hopefully that will inspire him to study, watch this maybe he'll watch this video and learn a little bit so he can step up his game. And then HB, hot babe, or sometimes we call them honey bunnies, and that's usually referring to any girl who's about a 7 or out of 10 or above. So for example, an HB7. So instead, like, I could look at the target from across the room and talk to my wingman and say, like, wow, there's a couple of HBs over there. She looks like an HB7. Hey, I'm going to go approach that HB75, right, or an HB8. So I'm like, hey, can you wing me on this 2 set over here? There's a blonde HB85, and I want to make her mine, right? So then your wingman goes, okay, I'll wing you. He can go get the obstacle, and you go get the HB85. And then, of course, or like HB9 or HB10. And, of course, if you want to get real specific, usually we call any girl who's like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or a 10 out of 10, we call them an SHB, a smoking hot babe. So he can be like, oh shit, it's an SHB over there. Look at that SHB9. So here's what it looks like in real life. right? So here's a 2 set. In this situation, I'm the primary. This is the wing. And we're working a 2 set. This is my target. This is the obstacle. And what's happening here is, we were all kind of, we went in, we opened the set. We were on the dance floor. We handed the camera to someone else, to an adjacent set. Had them take the picture before, basically, then we took both the girls and we forward merged into that new set. We all became friends. Then we all sat down and had some drinks. I got my target's phone number, and then I dipped. And that's how it works. Now, a real quick plug for one of my books. This is called The Ultimate Guide to Picking Up Girls with a Wingman. And if you really want to get some of these strategies down to, if you're working with another person, I explain everything about social dynamics and how to work sets in this. This is like a 400-page book. Like, everything is in this book, this whole glossary. And the glossary that I'm giving right now is the basics of what you should know. The glossary in this book is probably like 60 pages. It just has everything, all the characters in the game, every contingency in there. It's insane. Took me like several months to write that, but definitely check it out. All right, so let's talk about interrupts. This is real important to watch out for. Internal interrupt, that's something that happens inside of the set, which may cause a distraction with your interaction with the target. So for example, the target and or obstacle, etc., receives a phone call or a text, right? Could be like an emergency text. Like, so you go into set and you're talking to the target, and all of a sudden she gets a phone call, and there's a fire or something. There's an emergency with her mom, and it blows the set. So we call that an internal interrupt. It's something that happened inside the set. It was really outside of your control. There's not much you can really do about it, and sometimes you got to just charge it to the game. Now, an external interrupt. This is something that happens outside of the set, which may cause a distraction with your interaction with your target. So for example, you're talking to a group of people at a restaurant, and a cocktail waitress interrupts your interaction by approaching and asking to take a drink order. Right? So you're talking to the girl, and everything's going good, and all of a sudden this cocktail waitress just comes in. Can I get a drink? Would you guys want some cigarettes? And you're like, oh, fuck, get out of here. I'm trying to get this girl's number. And then all of a sudden the cocktail waitress starts, oh, you love your dress. You're so cute. And you're like, get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to work my fucking target. I want to get fucking laid. That's, again, where a wingman, if you have a wingman who's on what we call standby mode, would be standing by, and he would see, oh, there's a cocktail waitress. Your wingman's job would be like, whew, quickly intercept that cocktail waitress and be like, hey, like, what are you doing? You're kind of cute over here. Hey, and just distract her so that you can keep working the set. Example number 2, a homeless person walks by and interrupts your set by asking for change. And again, in Vegas on the Strip, this happens all the time. You could be working a fucking hot girl. You're sitting there talking to her, spitting tight game, and some homeless dude, you guys have a change? I had a guy sit there, and he's just sitting, now he's staring at the fucking hot girl, which is creeping her out, and he's like, please, do you have change? And it's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm talking to a hot bitch. Get the fuck out of here. You're like, he's salting your game. And so that's, again, real important to watch out for. And that's why, again, it is so important to fucking be working with a wingman or some other person who's got your back that you can trust and feel. This is a really good example of an external interrupt. You can see me with my wingman here. We're working in this 2 set, right? This is my target. This is the obstacle. And then this guy, he's kind of, you can see how he's about to come in. Someone else is taking this picture, but this guy's about to come in here and basically blow up the set, because I think that he liked one of the girls or something, and then he got mad. And so basically my wingman is about to see this guy coming in, and he's going to turn and be like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, so basically he's going to block him out, and then him, the obstacle 1, and this external interrupt, they're going to become a subset 3 set of the group, and he's going to basically kind of move them out of the way so that I can continue the interaction with my target. And at that point, I've got to go into damage control because now all this crazy shit is happening. This guy's having to deal with this external interrupt. He's already working an obstacle that's fucking like trying to get her friend to go back to the party. And it's just becoming a big nightmare. So all of a sudden it's like, fuck, I got to hurry up and get this girl's number so that this set I got to just eject out of this set. So as soon as basically he blocks the external interrupt, it moves the obstacle and basically create what's called an insta-wall. So basically he's going to turn his back to me, and his back will end up becoming a wall, or the invisible curtain theory, so that me and the target have a little privacy. He can work that external interrupt, and I can be like, hey, I don't know, there's some crazy stuff going on over here, but let's exchange numbers, and I'll catch up with you next week. So I can pull out my phone, I can get her number real quick, and then I can dip, and then my wingman can come meet me back. Right? Understanding the concept of opening. To open is to start a conversation, also known as breaking the ice. Opener, the actual opening line that you use to open. Example, hi, right? That's an opener. In pickup, however, an opener is generally a pre-scripted and rehearsed routine and or gambit used to start a conversation and lead the interaction towards a desired result, also known as an icebreaker. So, for example, you girls look like trouble, right? We call that the trouble opener. So it's a pre-scripted opener. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to stand, like I said, you're going to use the 3-second rule, 3SR, right? And you don't have to think about it because you're using the trouble opener. You don't have to sit there and think about, what do I say to get her to like me? What's the pickup line? That's why you have a wingman, and he's like, go in with the trouble opener. Use the 3-second rule. So you stop what you're doing, you walk up and you go, hey girls, you guys look like trouble. And then the girls will go, we are trouble. So that's the power of the opener, is because when you already have it rehearsed, you don't have to think about it. Sometimes you call it a back pocket opener. So you could just, or a canned opener. It's like it's in the can. So you don't have to think so much. You just go in with whatever opener. I'm going to teach you some more openers right now. So understanding false time constraints. A fake and or false time constraint is basically to pretend that you have to leave for whatever reason when you don't really have to. This technique is used to preserve the set's and or target's comfort levels or comfort threshold, right? So for example, I can't stay long. I'm here with friends. Or example 2, I'm in a rush for a business meeting, but I just wanted to ask you this quick question. Now, the reason this is so important is because girls are approached all the time by all kinds of guys, and if you're the next guy who comes up and goes, hey, what's up? And the first thing she's thinking is, oh God, who the fuck is this guy? When is he gonna leave? So immediately on the open, and let's say we're gonna use that trouble opener, you girls look like trouble. And they go, we are trouble. So then you throw a false time constraint. Look, I can't stay long. I'm here with friends, but I just wanted to ask you this quick question. Okay, now you're in a conversation with them. You came up and you opened. You girls look like trouble. They responded. You threw a false time constraint. Let's try that again. You girls look like trouble. We are trouble. Ah, that's funny. High five. Hey, look, I can't stay long. I'm here with friends. Then you would go from there. Look, I just thought you were kind of cute. I wanted to grab your number. You could go just as quick as that. She might be like, sure. Or you can go into like a story. Hey, I just want to ask you this question real quick. What do you guys think about blank? So understanding the concept of body rocking. Body rocking is using your body to rock back and forth in such a way to make it appear as if you were just about to leave. Also known as a non-verbal FTC, so non-verbal false time constraint. So body rocking would be like leaning back like this, right? So you're like, hey guys, I can't stay long. I'm here with friends, looking like you're about to leave. So that also shows the girls that you're not here trying to stay, and it doesn't look like you want something from them. You're not being needy. You're more like, yeah, you guys seem cool, and you're just kind of like, but you're kind of subcommunicating that they're not that cool, and that you got other things going on, and you're just about to leave. And this is a great technique to make them feel more comfortable. You can even do it if the girls, say for example, were sitting down at a table. You can be like, you can even throw a false time constraint, a verbal one. You start talking, you girls look like trouble. We are trouble. High five. You sit down with them at the table, and you go, look, I can't stay long. I'm here with friends, but you guys seem cool. I just want to ask you this quick question. And you start talking to them, and you can even get up for a second, and then make it look like you're leaving, and then you go, oh wait, well, one more thing, and then you sit back down. So again, the set is going to feel like you're going to leave anytime. And of course, if they want you to stay, they're going to tell you, no, hey, stay, hang out with us. And you go, oh, okay, sure. But you want to make it appear like you have your own life and you've got other things going on. You've got friends, you've got your hobbies, you've got your passions, you've got all this other stuff going on. And, you know, there's something interesting about them and you do want to chat with them. But it's not a big deal if they're not interested. You want to have the attitude of, I want you, but I don't need you. Understanding how to lock into set. Okay, lock in position. To lock yourself in a set. To take a position within the set you are running so that you are now an active part of the group. So for example, if I just walk up to a 3 set and I'm standing there in what is called holding court. Now I'm talking to the target and the 2 obstacles, blah, 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 blah. They're still a 3 set and I'm still a 1 set until I do what's called lock in. Let's say I ask the girls a question and I go, you know, what do you girls think? Do you guys smoke weed? Do you guys get high? And they go, of course. And I go, what's your favorite strain? And the obstacle says, you know, she says, oh, I like Blueberry Kush. And then the target goes, oh, I like White Widow, which is something I like. That's one of my favorite strains. So I go, oh, that's the best one, high five. What I do is I'm clasping the hand of the target, and then I'm going to spin her around, right? And I'm going to take that position. So now, basically, I high-fived, and then I spun her. So now I'm right here. Boom. I'm in this position. Now I'm locked into set. So now I'm here, I've got obstacle 1, obstacle 2, and then the target, and I'm leaned against the wall. Now I'm locked into set. I could say something like, you know, I look so much better in this light. Now it looks cooler because I've got 2 of these obstacles that are on each side of me, and now I've got the target here, and I just memed her in front of both of her friends. So of course she's like, what the fuck? Which is really good for me because it just puts me on a higher social stature. Now she's gonna feel like I need to redeem myself. Like this guy just tooled me in front of my 2 best friends. So she's gonna try to have to do something back to me, and that's gonna spark that sexual chemistry that, you know, because I'm antagonizing her a little bit. But basically now that's what's called being locked into set, and I could go, oh, I look so much better in this light. And then of course you throw another false time constraint. So, you know, I can only stay a second. I got to get back to my friends. But you girls are cool. Blah blah blah. I just wanted to ask you this question. Another thing you want to do when you're locking this set, if there's any wall or a tree or something, anything nearby, you can open the set and then just kind of like lean against that thing. Just make it look like you're supposed to be there, and not like you're just walking up and standing in the same spot. All right, understanding how to what's called roll off. So this is a little bit of a complicated technique right here, but a roll off is a way to convey active disinterest. It's an exaggerated form of body rocking. So for example, after opening, you turn your back to the set and allow them to re-engage in order to force an IOI, an indicator of interest. So let's say you walked up to the girls and you're like, you talk to them and you're like, oh, I want to ask, you girls look like trouble. Oh, we are trouble. Ha ha, high five. Look, I can't stay long. I'm here with friends. I just wanted to ask you this question. Me and my friends were talking. We need a female opinion, like, you know, because weed is legal now. Like, do you guys smoke? What do you guys think about girls that smoke weed? And they're going to go, yeah, of course we smoke weed. I got a tattoo of it. I go, oh, I got a tattoo of that too. That happens a lot. Or they'll be like, oh yeah, I smoke. And I say, okay, what's like your favorite strain? Then the girl will be like, oh, I like cotton candy kush. Whatever they say, it doesn't matter. Oh, I don't care. I just like to smoke. Cool. And you go, oh, that's cool. That's what's up. And then you just kind of turn your body. I didn't leave. But I was like, oh, that's cool. And I just turned, because what I'm waiting for is for her to say, so what's your favorite strain? Right? That forces an indicator of interest, because now it's letting me know I just turned my body, and she basically, a hot girl turned and said, so what do you like? She basically pulled me back in. And that's why we call it active disinterest. I'm being active of being disinterested in the set. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'll high five. I like weed too. Now I turn. And then I just stand there, maybe check my phone, and wait for her to re-engage. Now she's like, so, do you smoke? What's your favorite strain? And then I can go, oh, okay. And I'm thinking in my head, oh, okay, this girl likes me because now she's trying to talk to me. So I go, oh, you know what my favorite strain is? Well, before I tell you that, I got to tell you this one thing. Understanding conversational threads. A thread is any particular topic of conversation, also known as a conversational thread. Let's just use the dog thread, for example. So whatever you're talking about, if you're talking about your dog, then you could call that the dog thread. If you're talking about photography, that's a photography thread. So whatever the topic is, that's the thread of conversation. And you always have to understand, is that topic of conversation getting you closer to the goal, which is getting laid? If you're not thinking about that in the back of your head, you're doing this all wrong. Like, you should always be moving toward the late. So for example, like I said, you open the set because you want to do the next thing, you want to get to the next phase, you want to get to the next phase, and it's eventually sex. You don't want to be going way over here, and you don't want to be going way over here. So if you start talking about crazy, conversational threads, like, what would it be like to live on the moon or something like that? Like, that topic of conversation isn't very sexual. It's not going to get you to the bedroom. So you need to be leading the conversation there. And if you end up talking about something that's not relevant to getting laid, you can always do what's called cut the thread, which is basically getting off of one topic and stacking forward to another topic of conversation. And you can always do that because girls do that all the time. I'm going to explain this in a second, but let's say she just starts talking about something, and it's not interesting you, or she asks you a question, like the question, what do you do? A lot of girls will do that because they want to know how much money you have. That's what that question means. So what do you do is kind of like, what kind of paycheck, what kind of money do you have in your pocket? She's trying to put you into either a lover or provider category. If you say, oh, I'm an engineer or I'm a lawyer, then she starts thinking boyfriend material. Because you have a lot of money, she's thinking protect and provide. He's got a lot of money. If you're the guy who's like, oh, I just odd jobs, just kind of hang out, then she's kind of like, okay, there's no future with him, but he's kind of cute, so maybe I'll just still have sex with him. So it just depends. Do you want to be the lover, or do you want to be a provider role? And that's we'll get into that into the next video. That's much more advanced. But if you're talking about something and you don't feel like, let's say she says, what do you do, and you don't want to answer it, you can always answer with a non-answer. So you can always basically say, like, she says, so what do you do? And you go, oh, I'm a disposable lighter repairman. Or you go, she says, what do you do? You go, oh, I work at McDonald's. And then you just kind of smile and laugh at her because she knows you're joking, you know you're joking. And she's like, oh my God, you're so funny, what do you do? And you'd be like, you know what, I'll tell you, but then I have to kill you. And then she'll kind of laugh. And I'd be like, look, I'm just out having fun tonight. I don't want to talk about work. What do you do? Tell me about yourself. And then she'll go, oh, okay, well, so she's just talking about herself. You basically just cut the thread and gave her the new thread. Stacking forward, so that's to move on to the next routine. Routine, similar to an opener, a routine is a pre-scripted thread or a question or a psychological test or a gambit or a game, whatever you want to call it. For example, the best friends test routine. So the opener, for example, the trouble opener we were talking about, you walk up and you go, hey, you girls look like trouble. And then they go, we are trouble. And then you go, okay, high five. I like trouble. Look, I can only, false time constraint, look, I can only stay a second. I just thought you girls were cute. I just want to come over here and say hi. So they go, oh, hi. So what are your names? I'm Kimberly, and I'm whatever, and I'm Joanna. And you go, okay, I'm Ryan. And then they let's say they laugh. Wait a second, are you guys best friends? And then they go, yeah. And you go, I can tell. You guys make the exact same facial expressions. And then they kind of look at each other and they laugh, and you go, have you guys ever taken the best friends test? And then they go, no. And you go, okay, check this out real quick. Like I said, I can only stay a second. You can throw another false time constraint if you want. It's optional. But then you go, okay, so check this out. Like, okay, guys, both stare at me. Okay, do you guys wear the same shampoo? And then right there, what they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to look at each other to see if they wear the same shampoo, or one of them is just going to be like, yes, of course we do. And she's going to look straight at you. So it doesn't really matter either way. If they both look at each other, then you go, stop. And then they're going to go, what? Like, because it kind of like, It's so weird. It's like paralyzing to them because you're, wait, stop, and then you stop too, because then they'll freeze, and then you go, oh, I could tell you guys are best friends. You know why? Because you both looked at each other to check, right? And then they're gonna go, oh my God, right? Or if one of them just says like, she says yes, then of course you can be like, right on, high five. That's cool that you guys both wear the same shampoo. Like, you just it doesn't really matter, but like they call it, it's a routine because it's all rehearsed in my head, and it's just something to talk about, and it's much more interesting than, hey guys, how's your night going? Oh, cool. Who's playing tonight? 49ers and the Steelers. That's cool. Who are you going for? Steelers? Okay, cool. Do you guys drink beer? Cool. Right? That's just boring, mundane conversation. But if you're like, have you guys ever taken the best friends test? Oh my God. Hold on. Do you guys wear the same shampoo? Stop. Like, it's just exciting. It doesn't matter. The words aren't really like so important. It's the emotions that you're giving them, because you know women are emotional, men are logical. All right, let's keep moving forward. Stacking forward, you're getting off of one routine going on to the next. So you can do what's called a routine stack, which is like, I did an opener, I did a false time constraint, then I did a routine, which was the best friends test. Then I can go on to the next routine. Let's call that strawberry fields. I can go on to another routine, which is called the cube. All this stuff I teach in my advanced class. There's videos on YouTube and stuff. They all take quite a long time to explain. But you know, you guys ever take the best friends test? After you do that, and you go, hey guys, have you ever played the game Fuck, Marry, Kill? So this is the Fuck, Marry, Kill routine. And they'll go, no. And you go, okay, so you got to pick 3 guys in this bar. One that you'd fuck, one that you'd marry, one that you'd kill. And so the girls will look around and then they'll go, let's see, all right, I'd fuck him. Oh, I'd marry him. He's hot. Oh, and I'd kill him. He's annoying. You go, oh my God. Like, I would have thought that you would fuck that guy. And she'd be like, oh my God, he's gross. And you're like, oh. Like, and you just kind of get that vibe going. Or, for example, on Fuck, Marry, Kill, I asked the girl that one time, and she was like, well, I'd fuck you. I'd marry him. And she was like, well, basically she turned to me and she's like, well, I'd fuck you. And I was like, really? Let me try something. And I fucking do this little C pattern over her hair, and I go, and I'm gonna try something. Give her a little kiss, and then I kind of backed off. I'm like, you have soft lips. I like that. And then I'm like, okay, well, now who would you marry, who would you kill? So, right, I didn't act all needy with it and try to force the kiss on her. It was more just like, I got the kiss. I know she wants to fuck because she just basically admitted it. I made a little bit of a physical escalation, right? So I'm moving up the Kino escalation ladder, but at the same time, I'm now backed off. So now she's like, wow, like this guy's got a lot of self-control. Interesting. Like, Now that's really going to fluster her as a female, because she's like, most guys don't do this. Most guys are going to be, if most guys kiss her, then they're going to keep trying to kiss her and kiss her and kiss her and touch her or whatever. But it's more like you kiss her and then you back off and you go back to being Mr. Cool. Then it's like, oh shit, we got a player right here, and of course, guys hate. They're always like, but it's like, why would they want a loser? They want a winner. They want a player. Multiple threading. This is to jump and weave back and forth throughout multiple conversational threads. So, for example, if most guys, I'm going to talk about this meme right here, and I think this is the best way to explain it. I love this meme. So how boys tell a story, like you got the one train track, and then you got how girls tell a story, which is like all over the place. And if you listen to the way the guys talk, because guys are logical, we care about case in point. Hey, who's your favorite football team? I like the Steelers. Why do you like the Steelers? Because they're good. End of story. That is a perfect guy conversation. What's another one? Hey, do you like black leather or white leather? I like black leather. How come? Because I think it's cool. Perfect. That's how guys talk. We're like logical and to the point. Any girls watching this? That's what guys, we don't care about all the stupid details. Basically, if you think about the colors in the world that we can see, guys are like black white, and gray. And women are basically every color of the rainbow, all of the pastels, they're butterflies, unicorns, they're sparkles and glitter, and they're everything in between. So when you listen to the way girls tell stories, they don't stay on one topic. They go all over the place. They're like, oh my God, I was with Becky at the club and we were so drunk and there was this guy and I forgot to tell you my mom bought a pet parakeet and we named him Mickey after my dog. Do you remember my dog? Oh my God, he was such a funny little dog. And you know what I mean? He used to have that brown dog dish, and I think I bought it at that garage sale. Do you remember that garage sale? Like, they're all over the place. They don't make any fucking logical sense because women are emotional. So they're talking about whatever they're feeling in the moment. And a lot of guys don't know how to talk to women because they don't understand this basic principle. So when a guy's trying to talk to a girl, he's trying to talk to a girl as if she's a guy. So he's like, so like, what do you like to do? And she's like, oh my God, I like to like party and I like to do this, but I also read a book. And then the guy's like, oh yeah, so yeah, I like to party too. And the girl's like, okay, like I already talked about that. I'm talking about this book, but I guess you're like way like last week. So, but anyway, like, I don't know if I ever told you this, but my friend did this, and then the guy's like, so, what book did you read? And the guy's like, he keeps trying to come back in the conversation to pick up on a logical part. And it's like, you can't talk to girls like that. You just let girls go all over the place. You feel like it, throw in a little pebble of value. So the girl's talking, oh my God, my dog did this, and blah, blah, blah. And I was so tired, so I took some Tylenol, I just rested. And it was so cool because I got these new, like, Q-tips, and they, like, definitely clean my face. And, it's like, but it's kind of rough, but it's kind of bumpy, and it's kind of soft at the same time, but I don't know. And you're like, yeah, Q-tips, that's cool, right? And she'll be like, oh my God, he so listens to me, wow. A lot of guys are always saying, oh, I want a girl who's on my level who can communicate. And it's like, no, that doesn't exist. Girls only date fucking across and up, which means if you're only up, then they will never be on your level, which kind of forces guys to date down in a way. You will never find a girl on your level because they only date up, right? And a lot of guys, oh, I just want a girl on my level so we can have a good conversation. If you want a good conversation, then call one of your guy friends and have a good conversation. Use girls for sex. If you want to have a good topic of conversation, talk to your guy friends. If I want to talk about some deep philosophical shit, I won't call up a hot girl I met at the club. I'm going to call up my best guy friend and be like, hey man, something's on my mind. Like, I want to talk about, the theory of Rome and Aristotle or whatever the fuck. And he's going to be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we could talk about that. You talk about that to a girl, she's going to be like, I'm bored with this. Like, where's the ecstasy? So, understanding the concept of negs or negging. Neg is short for negative compliment, also known as a backhanded compliment or a, quote, veiled insult. This technique is designed to temporarily disqualify oneself from being considered a potential suitor and to simultaneously and briefly and or temporarily lower the target's self-esteem. When done correctly, the result should be laughter. Let me go through the examples from this and then we'll explain. So, for example, the POA walks up and he goes to the girl, he goes, oh, those are nice nails. Are they real? The target says no. The POA goes, oh, well, yeah, they're still nice. Anyways, get this, right? Now what happened here? Basically, most guys, they suck up to girls and they're like, oh, those are nice nails, those are beautiful. And the girl goes, thanks. But then in this case, this guy threw what's called a negative. So he's like, those are nice nails, are they real? And the girl, she goes, no. And the guy goes, oh, well, they're still nice. Anyway, so it's like he didn't give her the validation, which makes her go, oh, fuck, like this guy's not kissing my ass, he's not sucking up to me. Like, what did I do wrong? And it makes her self-esteem drop a little. It's like pulling the self-esteem rug out from under her. Just momentarily, he's not being mean. She didn't win him over in that. In a way, you're kind of saying, oh, like, I'm up here and you're kind of down here. Like, you didn't really impress me that much. And it's going to force the girl to step up her game, try to get on your level, but at the same time, she's going to become attracted to you because she's going to know in the back of her mind, wow, this guy must be a little cooler than me. Like, So here's example number 2. I only like adventurous girls. You seem more like a nice indoorsy type of girl. You probably couldn't handle a guy like me. So basically, when I say, oh, you probably couldn't handle a guy like me, I'm basically saying, yeah, I'm dope, I'm up here, and I don't think you're on my level. So that's kind of a challenge to the girl where she's like, wait a minute, what? Like, most guys kiss my ass and suck up to me and tell me how beautiful I am, and this guy basically just said that I couldn't handle him? What? Which, of course, forces a challenge, and what a girl's like. Girls love a challenge. All right, example number 3. So you might say something like, you blink a lot. Example number 4. You might say something like, you go, oh, your nose, it wiggles a little bit when you laugh. And then the girl will laugh and go, you go, oh, look, there it goes again. That's cute. Right? And then, of course, the girl's like, oh, my God, my nose wiggles. Oh, I'm so embarrassed to this guy. Example number 5. The PUA goes, hey, you look like the most normal girls in here. I got to ask you this quick question. So by saying you look like the most normal girls in here, you're basically telling them that they're not hot, they're not beautiful, they're the most normal girls. So of course then the girls are like, wait a minute, this guy, I don't want to be normal. How come all the other guys walk up and they go, yeah, you guys are the hottest girls in here. While the other guys kiss up to them, you just walked up and you said, you girls look like the most normal girls in here. Let me ask you this question. So they're going to be like, wait, what do you mean normal? What does that mean? Like, am I not pretty? And they just fucks with their head, and that's exactly where you want them. All right, understanding indirect openers. An indirect opener is an opener that does not convey any direct interest in the target. Example, hey guys, me and my friends were talking, and we need a female opinion. What do you guys think? And then you ask them an opinion on something. No. Many people hear about the indirect opener and think to themselves, that would never work. But you have to remember that women get hit on all day, every day. 20 plus guys in real life on the streets each day, 7 days a week, are approaching these women, whether full on asking them out or even just doing stupid, simple suck up things for them, like trying to open doors for them or complimenting them, telling them how beautiful they are. And with dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, POF, Scout, Meet Me, Match.com, and literally thousands of others, the average woman, 18 plus, is receiving an average of 3,000 messages per week. Now, that's the average girl. That's a girl who's like a 5, 6, or a 7. Is it getting 3,000 dudes, 3,000 different cocks hitting her up trying to get some pussy? And many of the hotter 9s and 10s are receiving over 3,000 messages per day. That's insane, okay? Not to mention the fact that on these same women's social media profiles, like Instagram, for example, hot women are receiving 50,000 plus likes on their pictures each day. And many of these girls are posting several times a day. Which means if a girl posts 3 times a day, she's getting 150,000 likes of just random guys who are trying to fuck her. One of these posts will receive thousands of comments from thirsty beta male guys. We like to call them orbiters or sponsors. Like, she's like a sun and they're like planets that orbit her. They just fucking like all her stuff and tell her how hot she is. And, who are complimenting her, telling her how beautiful, how hot she is, how talented she is, and leaving like heart-eyed emojis and fire emojis, yum emojis and wet emojis, etc. They're literally treated like goddesses. These women's defenses are up. They are not dumb. Do not be fooled by their angelic, innocent appearance. They know exactly what they want. They know that you want to fuck them. They know that you want to make her your girlfriend. They know that you want her. So the real power of the indirect opener is not about what it does, but what it doesn't do. For example, it doesn't convey that you want her. It doesn't convey that you're trying to hit on her or that you are after her. It simply conveys that you are just a fun, social, chatty, cool, confident person, and you are simply starting a conversation. It shows that you are non-needy and are not insinuating that you want anything from her or from the set. It's just a way to get in to a conversation with your target, quote, under the radar. Okay, so when you do stuff like this, an indirect opener, and you walk up to a group of girls and you go, hey guys, me and my friends were talking, we just need a female opinion. What do you guys think? You're opening indirectly. And so what's happening is the girl she doesn't think that you're hitting on her. She's just like, oh, this cool guy came up and he's just asking me this question. It's not a big deal. Little does she know, like I said, you're going under the radar. She doesn't sense that you want her. And of course, you can always start hitting on her later. And of course you will. I'll show you how to go from indirect to direct. But what's really happening here is this is just a great way to get in to the conversation without being the creepy, weird guy who's walking up telling her how, hey, I just thought you were really hot. You want to go out with me, right? You don't want to be that guy because everybody else does that. You want to stand out and be different. So let's talk about some examples of stock indirect openers. So these are ones that you can use, you can memorize them, try them out and see how it works for you. This one I created is called the island opener, right? So you walk up to the girls and you go, hey guys, quick question. If you guys had your own island, like you owned your own island, what's the first thing that you would do on it? Okay. Now, if you're in a club, you can say it just like that, and girls are drunk, and it's a fun topic. Oh, if I had my own island, I would, relax on the beach. I would smoke pot. They'll tell you all kinds of stuff. Tip. So, but if you're in the mall or something, you can add a justifier for context. My friends and I are doing a survey, doing a YouTube video. What do you guys think? Right? So if I walk up in a club, I could just be like, hey guys, real quick, if you guys open your own island, because they don't know, I could be drunk, they're drunk, everybody's just having fun. In a nightclub, everybody's dancing. But in a mall, girls are shopping. If you walk up and you go, if you guys had your own island, girls will be like, why are you asking me this? Right? That's why you add in the justifier. The justifier gives it context. Because then you go, hey girls, this is going to sound completely random. Me and my friends are doing a YouTube video, but what do you guys think? If you had your own island, what's the first thing you do on it? Then they're going to be like, oh, okay, like it's a YouTube video. Makes it okay. You use the justifier, and then it's like, yeah, because he's doing a YouTube video, so it's like, it's not weird. Here's a great one. This is the Is Kissing Cheating opener. This one is from the book The Mystery Method. So you go, hey guys, quick question. Do you guys think that kissing is cheating? And then the girls will go, yes. And you go, okay, well, a guy kisses another girl. That's cheating, right? Okay, get this. My best friend's girlfriend kissed another girl. Is that still cheating? So you say that, and then the girls go, oh my God, like, I don't know, like, because they've all done it. They've all kissed other girls, and they're thinking like, oh fuck, if my boyfriend did it, but is that cheating? I don't know, like, well, no, because it's with another girl, that doesn't really count, and it's not any of his business anyway. Like girls will just go. It's such a polarizing question because you're gonna get a lot of controversial responses, and you're gonna find out maybe this girl, you start talking to her and she was raised religiously, and she's like, no, you should never cheat. And then there's this other girl and be like, look, we've all done it, blah blah blah. And you can be like, let me guess, they're the good girl and you're the bad girl, right? Oh my God, are you guys best friends? Have you guys ever taken the best friends test? Boom. Go into your routine. This one I made up, it's called the 6ix9ine opener. So you go up and you go, hey guys, quick question. I need a quick female opinion. Do you guys think the rapper 6ix9ine is hot? And then the girls, they're either going to be like, yeah, or they're going to be like, no. Right? It doesn't matter. You just go, okay, get this. My little niece, 7 years old, right? She just got a giant poster of 6ix9ine and put it on her wall. She thinks he's hot. She says when she grows up, she wants to marry him. What do you guys think about that? He's got rainbow hair and teeth. What do you guys think about that? That's crazy, right? And then the girls will be like, oh my God, that's so crazy. All right? right? And then you're like, oh, you guys like make the exact same facial expressions. Are you guys best friends? Have you guys ever taken the best friends test? Hopefully you're starting to see how this works. Like, this is really a step-by-step process. You open the set, you have false time. Hey guys, quick question. You know, I can only stay a second. I'm here with friends, but I gotta ask, do you think the rapper 6ix9ine is hot? Okay, get this. Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Okay, that's the opener. It's done. Now you're on to the next routine. You stack forward. So then you're like, oh, are you guys best friends? I could tell you make the exact same facial expression. Have you guys ever taken the best friends test? Okay, face me. Boom. We're going to the next routine. After that, you guys are crazy. Hold on a second. I got to ask you guys a question. You know, and you go into the next routine, right? All the way to the point where you're, hey, let me get your number. Anyway, we'll get to that. Understanding direct openers. So let's switch it up. Let's go from indirect, which is not telegraphing any interest to the target, and let's go to direct. And this is basically where you're putting all your cards on the table. You're letting her know exactly what you want. So a direct opener is an opener that immediately telegraphs your interest in the target. So a direct opener example could be, hey, you're so hot. Hey, I think you're hot. Hey, I think you're beautiful, whatever, right? So warning, direct openers work great and can be very powerful, especially for guys who are naturally more physically attractive and already meet the target's looks threshold, right? You're already like a good looking guy, you walk up and tell her she's hot, she was waiting for you to tell her that anyway. But you have to remember that if you go straight in like that, then you're putting the girl in a, quote, take it or leave it position. She will be forced to either give you a yes or a no answer. So remember, play the game wisely. If you're just going out and you're just playing the game and you're just opening sets and you're walking up to random girls playing the numbers game going, hey, you girls are hot, you girls are cute, let me talk to you for a second, and you put them in a yes or no, some of them are going to say yes, some of them are going to say no, and the ones that say no, it's like, okay, that's game over. You got to put in another quarter and play again. But if it's a target that you're really wanting and it's not just some random girl in a club, then you might want to think about using an indirect opener to really kind of get in. But then again, like, it's up to you. If maybe you want to be that guy who just comes in and is like, hey, I just thought you're super cute and I wanted to holler at you real quick. Hey, can I holler at you real quick? I just thought you were really cute. Wanted to get to know you, get your number or something. You can go in like that. She might say yes. You know, just be wary, keep that in mind. Examples of stock direct openers, I give you a couple right here. This is called the Absolutely Adorable opener, and this one just works so well. Had so many great results with this one. So you walk up and you go, hey, I know this is going to sound completely random and out of the blue, but I saw you from over there and I thought you were absolutely adorable and I had to come meet you. My name's Ryan, right? So this little ... we call this a pregnant pause in the pickup community. And what you're really doing there is you're creating tension and then you're breaking the tension. So you're like, yeah, I saw you from over there and I thought you were absolutely, and for that few seconds, her brain is thinking like, you thought I was absolutely what? Like, was I pretty? Was I ugly? Like, the female's brain is going nuts for a second. But what you're doing, I just thought you were absolutely adorable and I had to come meet you, because as soon as you say adorable, she's gonna go, oh my God, right? She's gonna get, if she lights up and she smiles and she goes, oh, thank you, like, then you can say that you did pretty well. And then there's gonna be other times when the girl will, after you say that to her, she's gonna be like, this is not appropriate. And you're gonna be like, whoa, like, calm down, like, don't take yourself so seriously, stupid bitch. So it's just like, yeah, I think it's a good one. I've got great results with that. And then there's the, something simple. I just thought you were really cute opener. So you walk up and you go, hey, I just thought you were really cute and I wanted to come over and say hi. My name's Ryan. And that's really sometimes all you have to do. People make this so complicated, but it's you could just walk up to the girl and go, hey, I just thought you were really cute and I wanted to come over and talk to you. My name's Ryan. And if she thinks you're, that works really good for good-looking guys. If you're a good-looking guy, that's really all you have to say. You don't have to talk about stupid fucking islands and shit. All right, so let's go on to examples of stock sexually direct openers. So these are direct openers, but they're sexually direct. So this is like really telling the girls exactly what they want. So, for example, there's the sexy and beautiful opener. So, for example, you walk up and you go, "You are so sexy and beautiful, and I want to get to know you." So, who are you? What's your name? That's a good one from Bad Boy. There's another guy who does super sexually directed. His name is Alan Roger Curry. He's got a book called Mode 1. He's got some really good sexually direct, if you like this style. So, here's one. It's called the Tongue in Between Your Legs opener. I don't actually know where this came from. Someone else taught me this one, but it's like you can go, "Hey." So I know this is like you walk up to the girl and you're kind of dancing and you're like, "Hey, so I know this is all fun over here, people dancing and chatting politely, but what I'd really like to do is stick my tongue in between your legs, you know, or I'd really like to just go upstairs and exchange orgasms back and forth with you all night." So you can go crazy like that, and some girls will really like that. They'll go, "Oh shit, like, oh yeah, okay, I'm down," and other girls will be like, "Oh my god," like, you know. So again, it's just stuff. Try it and see how it works for you, right? And hopefully you won't catch a rape charge. I don't know. So this one is super fun. This is called the Apocalypse Opener, because this is just straight up, take it or leave it. We're gonna fuck or we're not. So you walk up and you go, "Hey, what's up?" And the girl goes, "Hey." You go, "How's your night going?" She goes, "Good." And you go, "What are you doing later?" She goes, "I don't know yet." And you go, "Do you want to go home with me?" Okay, and when you say, "Do you want to go home with me?" you just keep staring and you just hold this masculine frame, because you don't want to go, "Do you want to go home with me?" And then she goes, if she checks you and goes, "Are you serious?" and you go, "No, I'm just kidding," right? You look like a little pussy now. But if you just maintain that frame, that dominant masculine frame, and you're like, "Do you want to go home with me? Do you want to go home with me?" And like she knows like you're serious, and she might go, "Okay." And it can be that simple. I mean, I've used it, and I fucked a girl using that. Because basically what I said is I was like, "Do you want to go home with me?" And she's like, "Okay." And I was like, "All right, let's go." Went back to my house and we had sex. It was awesome. All right. So understanding situational openers. This is interesting conversation. So situational openers to start a conversation based on something that is going on within the surrounding area or situation. So for example, you're in a mall and you ask the girl, you open with, "Do you guys know where the sunglasses store is?" Or, "Hey, do you guys know where the Starbucks is at?" Right? Because you're in the mall, there is a Starbucks. It's a situational opener because you're basically in the mode and you're like, "Hey, do you guys know where the Starbucks is at?" Right? So example number 2, you're in a club and you open with, you know, "Hey, do you guys, I love this song. Do you know who it's by?" Or you go, "Hey, do you guys know who's the DJ tonight?" Example number 3, in a sports bar, "Who's playing tonight?" Or, "Who's winning?" Example number 4, in a dive bar, "Hey, what's up? What are you guys drinking tonight?" Example number 5, in a grocery store, "Hey, do you know where the peanut butter is?" And I kind of like that one because sometimes girls might be like, "Oh, I don't work here," and you go, "Yeah, I know, but the people that do are ugly as fuck, and I just thought you were kind of cute." So that's kind of a fun opener. Anyway, so warning. The problem with situational openers is that they are usually just not that impactful for a first impression. If you open with mundane, boring, predictable conversation, then the set will just simply assume that you are a regular, mundane, boring, predictable person, etc. And they will not see you as very interesting or high value. Then you will have to recover from your boring situational opener and go to damage control, etc. However, they still could work. Note, sometimes you may open situationally, but the target is by herself and is in a chatty mood or is wanting attention, company, etc. And you might end up on a thread that really connects the two of you. So this is kind of interesting, and this is actually a true story right here. So for example, you're at a sports bar and you walk up to the target and open with, "I'm betting on the Steelers tonight. What about you?" And the target happens to be actually a big-time Steelers fan. This conversational thread excites the target, and the two of you end up watching the game together and talking about football and drinking a few beers, and before you go, you exchange numbers and plan to meet up the following Monday to hang out again and watch a Steelers game at your place, a day 2, which we're going to talk about. But this is funny because this is something that actually happened. where I didn't have my opener ready. I just was all, I don't know, I fumbled. I was not having a good night, but there was a cute girl at the bar, and I walk up and I said something about the fucking Steelers. I'm not really a football fan, but I dated a girl before who was a big Steelers fan. And so I was like, yeah, I'm betting on the Steelers tonight. What about you? And she's like, oh my God, go Steelers. She started talking about the players, and I was like, oh, you're a sports chick. That's cool. And we just started talking, and I was like, yeah, we should meet up, next week. We had a couple beers or whatever. So yeah, we should meet up next week if you want to have a Monday night football game at my place or something. And she's like, yeah, that'd be cool. And fucking we ended up hooking up. So situational can work too. Understanding demonstrations of higher and lower value. So a demonstration of higher value, what we call a DHV, is to demonstrate higher value to the set. More specifically, value demonstrating higher survival and reproduction value, right? Because that's what women are really looking for. They're looking with a man with high survival and reproduction value. So, for example, I'm the owner of a nightclub, right? When you tell a girl that, I'm the owner of a nightclub, what a girl hears is, I'm an important person and I have money and resources, right? Guys talk and they're kind of listening to the conversation for the point of the conversation. Women are trying to read between the lines, like, what did that mean? What else is he saying here? And they're kind of looking for cues about your personality and things. So you're talking to the girl. This doesn't mean that you're bragging. The girl says, what do you do? And the guy's like, oh, I'm the owner of a nightclub. He's not bragging, he's just the owner of a nightclub. What a guy would hear is, oh, cool, so you wear a suit and you probably hit on hot chicks, right? That's what a guy hears when he says you're the owner of a nightclub. Wow, maybe you're in the mob, do you have a gun? That's what goes on in a guy's head when a guy says, I'm the owner of a nightclub. What a girl hears is, I'm an important, high-value person, and I have money and resources, which instantly puts you in the possible boyfriend or husband category, right? So example number 2, let's say you walk in and you say, I'm the lead singer in the band that's playing tonight. Which way to the dressing rooms? Okay, so if a girl's kind of dancing and this guy walks by and he says, hey, I'm the singer in the band that's playing tonight. Do you know which way is the dressing room, or do you know where's the manager of the club? And of course, what the girl hears is, I'm a person of higher social stature, right? Because I'm a lead singer in a band that's playing tonight. And who's the girl? Well, she's just some girl who's dancing at the club. She's just a consumer. So what she hears is, I am a man of higher value, right? And what do girls are attracted to? What do girls fuck? Guys that are above them because of hypergamy. So demonstration of lower value, the opposite of DLV, is to demonstrate lower value to the set. So, for example, you walk up to the girl and you get to talking and you end up saying something like, I don't really like socializing because I'm really not that confident. And what the girl heard was, I'm an unconfident and insecure person and probably boring, okay? Just because, you were just being real. And you're like, yeah, I don't really like socializing. I'm not really like that confident. If you tell that to a guy's like, yeah, I feel you, man. Like, yeah, I don't like dealing with people either, right? But what a girl hears is, oh, I am not the alpha male. I am a beta male, right? So example number 2, you're talking to a girl and she's like, so what do you do? And you say something like, I've been trying to get a job, but I still live with my parents. Now, if a guy tells me that, I'm like, I feel you, man. It is tough out there. It's a tough game, and trying to get a job in this job market, this economy. Yeah, I understand, man. I wish you the best, right? I don't judge him for that. But what a girl hears is, I don't really have my life together right now. I can't even afford to take care of myself, let alone you and our potential offspring. That's what a girl hears. So as soon as you say something like that, I've been trying to get a job and I still live with my parents, she's like, oh, okay, well, you don't have your life together, you don't have a job, you're broke, you can't afford yourself, you can't afford me, and if we hooked up, you couldn't afford our kids. So you are a no. Like, you're a no-go. So you really got to be careful about what you're saying to women. You just want to say the right things. That's why they always say you got to tell them what they want to hear. So you always want to remember DHV, never DLV. Always demonstrate higher value, never demonstrate lower value, because women are looking and judging every single fucking thing that you do. Understanding indicators of interest versus disinterest. Okay, so an indicator of interest, an IOI, right? During your set, the target may give you indicators of interest, IOIs. For example, she may do a hair toss. She'll go something like this. Or she kind of looks at you and, you know, she's like licks her lips. Or she, you know, fondles her glass. She's like staring at you doing this. She laughs at your jokes even if they're not that funny. Like everything that you say. And even though you're not that funny, she's just giggling and laughing. Or she asks you the question like, so what do you do? It shows that she's interested. All of these are examples of IOIs. These are all indicators of interest. Not necessarily sexual interest, but she's just interested in continuing the conversation with you. Indicator of disinterest, opposite, is an IOD. So during your set, the target may give you indicators of disinterest, IODs. Example, she rolls her eyes and looks around for something more interesting. So we might call this rubbernecking. Like you're talking to her, you're asking her questions, and she's just kind of like looking for something. She's looking for something more shiny. You're just not impressing her. She's not talking or responding to any of your questions, or she tells you she has a boyfriend. Understanding compliance testing. Okay, so compliance testing is to test to see the target's current level of compliance to you. Will she comply or defy? Defiance is to refuse a compliance test. Anything that you do, anytime you ask someone to do something or whatever, it would be considered a compliance test. For example, if I said to a girl, hey, hold my drink, and she says no, she just defied my compliance test because she didn't give me compliance. You know, hey, hold my drink. No. Or she could have said, I could say, hold my drink. She should say yes. She gave me compliance. Compliance threshold. This is the limit of a person's compliance towards another person at any given point in time. The threshold determines what he or she is willing to do. Typically, you need about 65% compliance to get sex. So about 70% for anal sex. Again, it depends on the target. Some girls will let you fuck them in the ass on the first night. I've done that before, and I remember there was a girl in high school. She used to let dudes fuck her in the ass all the time, but she would not let guys fuck her in the pussy because she said she was saving that for marriage. But she said the ass is no big deal because it doesn't count. So every girl generally has, you know, girls all have different morals and values of the way that they were raised and things like that. But just as a general rule, it's like around 65% is usually to the point when you can get sex. 70% is like anal sex. 80% for, let's say, 3-ways or orgies. Usually a girl will let you fuck her in the pussy, then she'll let you fuck her in the ass, and then after that, you don't usually fuck her in the pussy and then say, hey, let me fuck your friend and have a 3-way. You usually fuck her in the pussy, then next thing you fuck her in the ass, and then you try to get a 3-way. That would be the next level of compliance. Just to kind of give you an idea of what this is, if you get the girl to, like, let's say 95% of compliance, or any person really, that's when they'll cut themselves or hurt themselves for you, or 100% means basically that they will do anything that you tell them to do without question. So those are the types of people that you see in the cults, where the people, like, there's like a cult leader, and he tells all of his followers, like, we're going to drink this drink and we're going to kill ourselves and go into the next life. And then people are like, the cult leader says to drink this, and right, because he has 100% compliance over them. He's like so influential to them. He's a super influencer. He influenced them so much to the point where he's like, hey, drink this and kill yourself for me. Right? Then he has 100% compliance over them. So hopefully that you get a better understanding of what that means in terms of when a person is under compliance to you. So for example, you know, like, and you can kind of tell if you walk up to a girl in a bar and you're just like, the first thing you say is, hey, high five. That's a compliance test. Because you're trying to see, is she going to comply or is she going to defy? Is she going to give me a high five? Is she going to do this? Or is she going to be like, is she going to turn her back? And girls will do that too. Sometimes you walk up to a hot chick and you're like, hey, high five. And she's just like, looks at you. Just ghosts your ass. Like she doesn't give a fuck, right? So she defied your compliance. She had you have zero compliance. Because you give me a high five, that's not really a big request. Hey, high five, right? But if you think about it, if a homeless person on the street, he smells, he's dirty, and he walks up and he goes, hey, give me a high five, you're going to look at him and go, ugh, right? I don't owe him shit. This motherfucker stinks. He smells. I don't know this motherfucker. He could be full of disease. I ain't giving him a high five. I'm not going to touch this guy. Hey, please give me some change. No, fuck you. Fuck you, right? You have no compliance over me. Now, for example, let's say I start talking to the person and I hear his story and he tells me something, you know, oh, he went through these hard times. He's a normal guy, but, you know, his parents kicked him out. They were abusive. I start kind of feeling for him, like, oh, I feel you. And then he's like, can I just get $1? And it's like, so all of a sudden it feels like he's got like maybe 3 to 5% of compliance. I'm not going to give him any more than $1. I'm not going to even shake his hand because I'm like disgusted by him. But it's like, all right, man, I'll give you $1, bro. Now get the fuck out of here. He got a little bit of compliance out of me. He got $1 out of me. Okay, he got some change, right? And I was even reluctant to do it. It's like maybe it's like a 0.5% of compliance. But for example, that's everything that you're doing with a girl is all a compliance test. That's all that really the game is. All the way from walking up to a girl and being able to say, hey, give me a high five, all the way to taking her to the bedroom and saying, hey, baby, take off your panties and spread your legs and take this big fat cock. And if she does, that's a compliance test. Are you going to take this cock, or is she going to be like, no, I have a boyfriend, right? If she takes if I say, lay on your back, spread your legs, and take this cock inside you. Is she going to do it? Is she not going to do it? Is she going to comply? Is she going to defy? That's really all we're testing for. And anyway, so let's move on, and we'll get into this a little deeper in a second. Compliance momentum. That's the momentum that's created as a result of having the target jump through progressively larger and more frequent hoops. So, well, let me go through the example, and then we'll go back to this. So, example, the PUA says, could you hold my glass for 2 seconds while I grab my wallet? The target says, okay. The PUA goes, thank you, love. Oh, I forgot. I have to go to the bathroom. Can you wait right here and hold my spot in line? Thanks. And then later on, you know, I'm too tired to drive home. Would you mind? Thank you. If you notice what happened, when he started first, he's like, oh, can you just hold my glass for 2 seconds while I grab my wallet? That's a very small hoop, you would call it, right? That's a small hoop. It's not a bad request. Hey, you know, I just got a drink. Can you just hold this for 2 seconds? I just got to grab my wallet. Right? That's not a big request. So that's what we call a micro hoop, right? It's not a big hoop. It's not like, hey, you know, I just met you, but I would love it if you took off your pants and your panties and bent over and spread your butt cheeks and let me stick my dick up your ass. That's a big hoop. If you haven't basically demonstrated enough value, you haven't done all these other things, her compliance threshold is going to be low. It's not going to be high in order to jump through that giant hoop. So you have to give her micro hoops in order to build up to the bigger hoops. If you want her to bend over and spread her butt cheeks so you can stick your dick in her ass, that's a big compliance hoop. So you start small by, oh, can you just hold this drink for 2 seconds while I get my wallet? Get your wallet. And then you reward her for good behavior, just like dog training, for example. You go, hey, sit, boo-boo, sit. Okay, good dog. Here's a treat. Give him a little pet, right? You want to reward the dog for the good behavior. I told the dog to sit. The dog sits. I pet the dog. I give it a treat. So the same thing with women. Can you hold my beer for 2 seconds while I get my wallet? She holds the beer. You grab your wallet. You take the beer back. And you go, hey, thank you. You're a sweetheart, right? You give her a little bit of a reward right there, a little treat. And then, like, for example, on this one, the next level of the hoop is, oh, by the way, I forgot. I need to go to the bathroom. Can you wait right here? You know, hold my spot in the line. That's a little bit bigger of a hoop. And then You start talking to her, you know, I'm too tired to drive home. Like, you met her, like, can you drive? Would you mind? Oh, thank you, love. So that's a little bigger of a hoop. Can you drive me home? If you, for example, you say, hey, give me a high five. That's a small micro hoop. She does it, then you go, okay. So if she jumps through that hoop, let's see if she'll jump through a bigger hoop. Hey, take my hands for a second. We're gonna do a little dance. I'm gonna show you how to do a little dance. Oh, you like that? Right, that's a little bit of a bigger hoop. If she does that, you can give her a bigger hoop, and you go, hey, just give me a kiss right here, right? So you're just making the hoop bigger and bigger to the point where you're like, hey, baby, lay on your back and spread your legs and take this cock. So that's a much bigger hoop. You got to build up to that, to the point where, all right, why don't you bend over, spread those butt cheeks, and let me stick my dick in your ass. That's a bigger hoop, right? We're at like a 65% hoop. Out of 100, as big as the hoop can get. All right, understanding kinesthetics, Keno, and the Keno escalation ladder theory. So very much like the compliance testing where we're getting bigger and bigger hoops, now we're going to go on to Keno, which is short for touch, physical touch. It means any element of physical touch. A high five could be Keno, a fist bump could be Keno, giving her a hug, giving her a kiss. Sex, anal sex, again, same thing like bigger hoops. Now we're doing Keno, which is touch, and then there's the Keno escalation ladder. So this is the theory that states that you must do one thing before the other. So you understand the building blocks of Keno is really reminiscent of the rungs on a ladder. So you start at the bottom of a ladder and you climb your way up. Before the target is comfortable kissing you or making out with you, she should be comfortable holding hands with you. Right? Doesn't make sense. You're not going to just walk up to a girl and just start making out with her. You're going to, hey, high five. You're going to talk to her. You're going to start holding hands. You're going to be arm in arm. You're going to hug. You're going to get friendly. Then you're going to kiss. So you're moving up the rungs of the ladder, just like the Keno. You're moving from micro hoops to moderate hoops to bigger hoops and to giant hoops. Okay? So before she's comfortable holding your hand, you should have at least given her a hug. And before she's comfortable hugging you, you should have at least high-fived her or gave her a fist bump or chatted with her briefly. You don't just walk up to a girl and stick your dick in her. You open the set, then you false time constrain, then you routine stack, then you give her a high five, then you give her a fist bump, then you give her a hug, then you go to your next routine, then you give her a kiss. You know, then you're always moving up again toward the goal, toward the sex. Keno plowing. So this is to initiate Keno and force compliance. No, that doesn't mean rape the chick. Keno plowing would be something like, for example, opening a set and then gently touching the target's arm or her elbow for no apparent reason other than to establish physical touch and to break the physical barrier. So be aware of the target's comfort threshold. For example, you walk up to the target and you kind of like, hey, what's up? And you kind of like do this. You kind of bump her like this into her arm and you force a physical touch. Or for example, you start talking to her and you just, it's so funny, and you tap her elbow. Now a lot of people do that. It's just that you're doing it intentionally just so you can get a little touch in. Not that you're trying to get off to it. It's not a perverted type of thing. It's just you're breaking the physical barrier so she gets used to you touching her. So you're like, oh, that's so funny, you know. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think the rapper 6ix9ine is hot? Oh yeah, you're so funny. You tap her on the arm. Ha ha ha, that's so funny. High five, ha ha. Even if you say high five and then she doesn't do it, then you go ahead and you just fist bump. Her hand is still down here, and then you go, oh, and you just tap her hand anyway, and then you just keep going on talking. So at least it's like, now you touched her, so she's kind of, even though she didn't high five you, you still touched her anyway, and now she's kind of like she just gets used to it. So the next time that you go back to you put up another little hoop and you go, oh, that's so funny, high five. She's like, oh, I already touched him anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now she touches you, and you get to the next rung on that ladder. Hey, give me a hug, right? So you get a little bit of a hug. All right, let's move on. Understanding approach invitations, AIs. There's another abbreviation, just a sub-note that is also an AI called an accomplishment intro, which is a wingman thing. We won't get into that into this video, but just so in case you hear it in another way. But approach invitation is also AI. It means The target may signal you with her eyes to come talk to her, also known as a nonverbal IOI or eye fucking or eye banging. So, for example, you're walking down the street, and imagine the target kind of looks at you and goes. She may look at you like that. She may flash her eyebrows once or twice. She may look down at you or down at the ground and then back up. She may kind of just smile and keep her eyes on you. Anything like that is what we call an approach invitation. And if you see that, you drop whatever you're doing and you go directly to open that set and try to get that pussy. She is basically saying, I find you attractive, you can come approach me. And she'll probably give you her number like really fast, as long as you don't fuck it up. So definitely when you're out and about doing what we call day game. So if you're out, instead of going to a nightclub, if you're just walking around a grocery store and you see a girl who kind of does anything like that, that means she's into you. She wants you to approach her. All you gotta do is walk up and say, hey, I thought you were cute. I wanted to say hi. And she'll go, I think you're really cute too. Understanding peacocking and peacock theory. So the term peacocking in the PUA lexicon means to wear bright or outlandish clothing in order to garner female attention. So, for example, wearing glow sticks, necklaces, rings, bracelets, accessories, dyeing your hair, flashing cash, etc., etc. I'm not really peacocking right now, but let's imagine I took a bunch of glow sticks and I duct taped them to my arm and I walked into the club and I'm like, everybody get, whoa, that guy's like glowing over there. Okay, that would be peacocking. And then girls, basically, they'll see that and they're going to be like, wow, like, who's that crazy guy? Like, what's his story? I want to go talk to him. All right? Now, here's a picture of me, like, with, I got all kinds of glow sticks. I got this crazy LED shirt, and, I got a glow stick on my belt, and, I got these crazy candy raver beads and spiked whatever. This is called peacocking. And I dress like this if I'm going out to a club to meet some women, because women are going to notice me. Now, a lot of guys might look at this picture and say, oh, dude, that looks ridiculous. That would never work. Well, it absolutely works. I pick up hot bitches doing this, wearing crazy shirts. I got goggles on. I got a bottle of fucking, that's not even expensive champagne. That's like $5 Andre champagne. Women don't paint my nails black. I got this thing that I drew on my head right here with nail polish, and wearing crazy glasses at night. And the women flock to you like a hummingbird feeder, because basically it makes you stand out, and girls love a guy that stands out. We're gonna go deeper into this theory right now. So here's an example. This night at the Caesar's Palace, and we're both lightly peacocking here. I've got a little pink dye in my blonde hair, and I've got a couple rings on. I've got a candy bracelet and a cool little necklace. And he's got like this badass Affliction shirt with like long hair, and his hair dyed and stuff like that. This is what PUAs look like when we're out there. We're basically dressed like this to attract attention from women. And women can immediately see us and they go, oh wow, like, who are these guys? Like, are these guys rock stars? Are they in a band? Like, you could tell, like, there's something about these guys that is not, these aren't the average Joes. These aren't normal guys. These are like, these are superstars. They might be celebrities. Are these guys Instagram models? Like, who are these guys? And of course, women will walk up to you and be like, what do you do? And that's the whole point of the peacocking, is because you're basically, like a peacock, you're spreading those tail feathers and saying, hey, come look at me. Look at me, girls. I'm the man. So you can see he's wearing kind of a flowery necklace. This actually glows in the dark right here. This part right here is LED lights. And then it says, like, party times. We got that at Party City. It probably cost him a couple bucks, but it's enough to make him stand out. If he didn't have that, he would just be a dude wearing a black shirt with a beard. He'd look like everybody else, but because he's wearing that, people are like, who is that guy? And then of course I've got kind of, you can't see it because the contrast is super high, but I've got a top hat on, and I've got these cool shades with a silver line on the side, and then I've got these interesting little cuffs and chains that I got, and we look like rock stars. And so girls see that, and they assume that we must be rock stars. Who are these guys? Why are these guys dressed like this in this club wearing this flower shit? They must be superstars. They must be high value. They must be important people. Otherwise, they wouldn't be dressed like that. Right? Now, here we go again. This was actually a pajama party, and most guys don't ever dress. Whenever there's a costume party, if you dress up, you'll be the guy that gets all the ladies. And you can see this girl is pretty hot. She's got nice tits, and she just came right over to us, got that number. And you can see, again, Andre right there. This is a $5 bottle of champagne. It's not even expensive champagne. But the fact that me and my wingman, we dressed like Hugh Hefner in these bathrobe things, and he's got a cane, and so we've got these necklaces, and I got the Andre with a bunch of these red plastic cups in my other hand, and I'm like, yeah, girls, you want to drink? I've got an eye mask on. Like, who dresses like this? So of course girls go, oh, these guys must be the fun guys. They're having fun. Like, I want to hang out with them. And like the song says, at the end of the day, girls just want to have fun. And of course, not only did I get that girl's number, this is the same night, same outfit, got another hot girl's number, and this is funny. Like this, I call this light peacocking. I'm just wearing a watch again, like a nice vest with not too much, just a little bit of a couple of beads here and some stuff, but it's enough. This girl came right over and fucking bought me a drink of a fucking what do they call this? A Washington apple or something like that. And she bought us both a drink. We ended up making out for like an hour. It's fucking dope. I got her number. And here we go again. This one I've got like pacifier in my mouth. I've got fucking bunch of beads right here. I've got these like things that go on my fingers that light up. And I know this could look ridiculous. A guy wearing a pacifier. See, I know that guys are going to call me a faggot when I wear that. I look like I'm sucking a fucking cock. And that's the whole point. When you get the guys calling you a fag, but you're still sucking on the pacifier going, I don't give a fuck what you think. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the man. What are you going to do, motherfucker? Yeah, I got a pacifier in my mouth. Yeah, I look like a faggot. I look like I'm sucking a fucking cock. What are you going to do about it? Nobody's going to do nothing about it. And the point is, the girls see that and they go, wow, that guy doesn't give a fuck. Like, he doesn't care if guys call him a faggot, so he must be the man, right? This is another one too. I got a little flowery lave on. I dyed my hair blonde that week, and I got some cool like earrings with some gold shades. I think that outfit looks pretty dope. This is a good idea. I have like a cat in the hat right here with a feather boa, and these girls just come over and they just want to talk to you. This is the same night. This girl came up and just started, can I wear your hat? And then she just started fucking grinding her ass. She's like fucking 19 years old. She snuck into the club. She's probably underage for the club, and she was like grinding her pussy and her ass all over my dick, and I was just whatever, dog. And this girl came up, oh my god, I love your outfit. And I was like, hey, come over here. I picked her up. That's what we do. So, okay, let's continue on. Peacock theory, right? So let's get into the science of this. This is actually backed up by science right here. In the wild, the male peacock fans its magnificent giant tail feathers in order to attract a peahen for mating. So this giant tail, it doesn't actually help him run any faster. In fact, it only slows him down from escaping predators. The same way, like, me putting a pacifier in my mouth doesn't make me cool to guys. It makes me look like a faggot, right? But if the peacock is able to get away and live his whole life evading all the predators, then he's proving to females of his male dominance. The peahen will know that he is the socially dominant peacock, right? So in terms of science and mating, she's also looking for symmetry between the eyes of the peacock feathers and several other things. But in terms of peacock theory, we're just going to stick to what it is. But so how does this translate to you in pickup? Well, by wearing bright and outlandish clothing, you will garner attention from females, some positive, some negative, but it doesn't matter. That's okay. That's we'll get to that in a second. But you will also receive snickering comments from guys, which is a good thing. Yeah, they're gonna call you a faggot. They're gonna call you queer. They're gonna call you all kinds of names. Right? Guys are gonna call you names. They're gonna make fun of you. But if you're able to, for example, hang out at a nightclub wearing glow sticks duct taped to your arms, and you're able to stand up to the social pressure of guys surrounding you and making fun of you, women will see this and recognize how confident in yourself that you are, and will see you as socially dominant. They will see that you don't give a fuck about what other people think of you, and that you're just a fun, confident, social guy, and they will begin to see you as the alpha male. Because if I'm able to walk into a club with glow sticks and a fucking pacifier and look like a queer, and guys and girls see guys going, oh, look at that fag, yeah, and I'm like a peacock, spreading my feathers. Look at me. I don't give a fuck what you think. I got this big giant tail. You can't touch me. And eventually the girls start going, wow, like he is the man. This guy is a peacock. So this picture is from like Pinterest or Google Images or something like that. I don't know who the artist is. Stock image. I would have gave him credit if I did, because it's such a great shot. But this is exactly what we're doing right here. We're wearing really bright, outlandish clothes, just basically being a peacock and going, what's up, girl? And there's a peahen right here. And he's basically being like, look what I got. Don't you want this big, hard motherfucking cock? What's up, girl? What's up? You trying to get some of the dominant alpha male peacock, right? So the peacock, that's what we do as pickup artists. We put on glow sticks. We put on all that crazy shit I wear. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm basically spreading my tail feathers, going, check me out. I got that big hard cock. What's up? I got that big cock. What's up, girl? I got that big cock. And that's what we're doing. All right, let's go into transition principles. So, sarge or sarging. That's a term we use as pickup artists to go out and try to meet girls, to hunt for pussy, to go, quote, sarging. This term comes from a seduction guru called Ross Jeffries. He had a cat named Sarging, so the cat, pussy, and the cat would escape, and then people would be like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm out sarging. And it ended up becoming like a term. So when we go out to a club, we call it going, hey, what are you doing tonight? Oh, we're going to go sarging at this club. We're going to go sarging at the Win, or we're going to go sarging at Excess, or something like that. So that just means we're going out looking for girls. We're trying to talk to some girls. We're trying to hunt for pussy. A number close, that's to get a target's phone number. At close, to get the target's email. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat close, to get the target's Facebook or Instagram, etc. Day 2, if I met a girl at a bar and I said, do you want to hang out tomorrow? And she goes, okay, that would be a day 2. It's not really a date, we're just continuing. It's like we were hanging out at the bar, and then we got to leave, but I got her number. And then when we meet up the next time, it's just continuing the interaction so we can keep going. Now we're hanging out at my house or whatever. A day 3, that's the third meeting. Okay, the day 2 went on, but then we had to part ways, and then we continue with a day 3. There is no such thing as a day 4. If a girl doesn't fuck you by the day 3, then she's just using you a multitude of reasons, really. Using you for conversation, because she's bored, she's just tooling you, she has no intention of sleeping with you, trying to extract resources out of you. If you don't fuck the girl by the 3rd dame, then just get rid of her, call it. Just cross it off your list, don't worry about it. And move on to the next set. It's a dead set at that point. A time bridge, okay, that's to set up a day 2 after the initial approach, to set up a date and time to continue the first interaction, to bridge the gap of time. So for example, as you're talking to the girl, hey, I got to get back to my friends in a second, I know you're with your friends, but do you like ice skating? And then she says, yeah, and you go, good. Well, I got to get back to my friends, but I'll give you a call Tuesday, and we can go meet up and go ice skating. Right? So what you're doing is you're bridging the gap of time. So it's like you're hanging out with the girl, and then you're like, by the way, you know, I gotta go and you gotta go, but why don't I give you a call and we'll meet up, you know, at my house for a pool party on Tuesday. I'll give you a call tomorrow and give you the address. So you're bridging the gap of time between the time that you were at the club and you can't see her anymore into the time that you're going to see her again. So you bridge that gap, and then she meets you up at the pool party, and you keep going on the interaction. That's your day 2. A stairway to heaven. That's a hopeful future encounter that has no guarantees of ever happening. That's the opposite of a time bridge. That's the guy who says, hey, I gotta go, but I'll give you a call sometime. Let me get your number. She gives the number, and he goes, cool, I'll call you. But by the time that you call her, she might have met 20 other dudes. She's riding the cop carousel. She's getting pounded by Chads and Tyrones, and by the time you call her, she's just, I don't remember this guy. That's why we call it a stairway to heaven, because you didn't make any plans. There's no other side. There's no guarantee that that's real. So that's why you want to build a time bridge. You want to say, hey, I got to get going, but do you like ice skating? And she says, yeah. I say, I'm going ice skating Tuesday. You should roll with us. She says, okay. You say, okay, I'll call you tomorrow to confirm the plans, because now you have a plan that you're going to meet up Tuesday to go ice skating. And then you're going to just call her to tell her where the ice skating rink is, and then you continue the interaction. Alright, continuing on. Insta date. An insta date is an instant date. Okay, to approach a girl and immediately go on a date. For example, to approach a girl and then bounce her to get a cup of coffee at a nearby Starbucks. So, for example, you are walking around at the mall, and you start talking to a girl, hey, what's up? I thought you're pretty cute. I just want to say hi. She says, oh, I think you're pretty cute too. He said, well, I was about to go get a coffee. Do you want to join me? And she says, yeah. You approach her, you immediately go to a coffee, instant date. Why talk to the girl? You're both already out at the mall. You both want a coffee. You're both going to go have a coffee anyway. You might as well do it together, get the date out, instead of approaching her and saying, well, let me get your number and we'll have a coffee next Tuesday. You could do that, but why not just do it right now? Insta-fuck, okay, it's an instant poll for sex. This can be done in as little as 5 to 45 minutes. I've done it myself a bunch of times. That's basically to, quote, poll the target directly from the open to the closed, generally in a nearby public toilet, porta potty, an ADA service bar, a quiet corner in the club, sitting on your lap at the VIP table, done that a couple times, in an elevator, done that, or the back of your car in the parking structure, behind a dumpster, back upstairs in your hotel room. I've fucked girls in all those places. And so basically, yeah, you can fuck a girl within 5 to 45 minutes if your game is tight. Especially here in Vegas, it happens all the time. You know, you meet a girl at a bar and you walk downstairs and, like for example, oh god, I could go into all of these stuff. Let's see. So I mean, let's talk about this for a second. Nearby public toilet. So in the bar toilet, you start talking to the girl, and then you just pull her into the toilet and fuck her. Or like if you're outside, there could be a porta potty. ADA service bar. So that means American Disability Act, I believe. I think that's the acronym for that. But that's like basically the bar that's next to the regular bar. That's where like if a person in a wheelchair would come up to. And I've literally been in the club, met a girl on a dance floor, and like moments later, sitting her up on the ADA service bar, making out with her, finger banging her, pulling out my cock, fucking grabbing a condom out of my pocket, putting a condom on, and then putting my dick inside, just sinking in real quick, kiss her. Now I'm not gonna fuck her until I come. But it's more, it establishes the relationship. It's sort of like, wow, this guy just met me and fucked me, and that will really impress the girl. She'll be like, damn, this guy must have game. Like, I met him 5 minutes ago and he already stuck his dick inside me. So girls, they love a guy like that who's takes what he wants. Or in an elevator, or just you meet her at the bar, and then you're like, if you want to go back up to my room, anything like that. Okay, move. to move the target from one physical location to another, and this is within the same venue, even as little as 5 or 8 feet. So, for example, moving a target from the bar to the dance floor or vice versa, or from the bar or dance floor to a nearby sit-down location, for example, a couch in the VIP section. So what that means is, you know, I'm at the bar, and there's a girl right here, and we start talking, and then I go, hey, well, let's go dance. And the dance floor is right here. So I take her by the arm, and I move her over to the dance floor. Now we're dancing. That would be called a move. Or I met her, I was just dancing, she was dancing, we started dancing together, and I said, hey, let's go get a drink. Hey, what's up? We went over to the bar. That's called a move right there. Or from the bar, again, hey, there's a couch over there, let's sit down so we can talk. Okay, now a bounce, that's to transfer with your target from one physical venue to another. So we're in a bar, there's a dance floor, there's a bar, and there's some sit-down location. There's like kind of a lounge, but there's a McDonald's across the street. So we're dancing, and I'm like, man, I could feel like some greasy food. You feel like you want to get some French fries. And she goes, okay. I said, let's go to the McDonald's across the street. Take my arm. So I leave one venue and go to the next venue. That's called a bounce. So, for example, to meet a target at a bar, and then leave with her to get some food at a nearby McDonald's, or to meet it for a day 2 with your target at an ice rink, and then after you're done skating, you bounce with her back to your house for sex. Right? So every time you go from one venue to another, you're bouncing, and within that venue, if you're moving around, then you're moving. A pull is to transition the target from your current location within the interaction directly to the close. So wherever you are in the interaction, let's say you met her, you know, at the bar, you guys went over and started dancing, then you went across the street to McDonald's to get some French fries, and then you said, so do you want to go back to my place? And she goes, yeah. That would be you going for the pull. So now you're going basically from wherever you're at in the interaction to the sex. So, for example, you go out Sarging and you meet your target in a bar, you bounce her to get some food at a nearby restaurant, across the street maybe, or whatever. Then you go for the pull by inviting her back to the place. If she complies, then you have successfully, quote, pulled. And then to eject is to leave set, to eject from set, whether you're successful or not. So that's just a term, it's easy to use. I'm going to open the set, then when I'm done, I eject from set. So I can go into the set, I talk to them, I get her phone number, when I'm done, I eject. If I go in and she blows me out, I have a boyfriend or whatever, then I eject from set. That just means that you're leaving. Now here's a picture real quick of an ADA service bar. I've fucked girls on bars like this. Not this exact bar, but the one in the Caesar's Palace, in the Pure nightclub I did. But they're the same thing. It's like the wheelchair goes up to it, and then you know, people are over here drinking, and it's hustle and bustle, it's party, there's crazy lights, it's dark. It's not. This is during the daytime. This is just a photo of a bar. But in the nighttime, there's lights flashing, there's people dancing, and you just sit the girl on the bar, and you could sit her on the bar like this, and then just fucking, like, you know, spit on your fingers, get your dick wet a little bit, rubber pussy. You know, you should have a condom. If you're training with me, I always teach guys, keep a condom in your left front pocket. So you pull the condom out, put the condom on your dick, spread the legs a little bit, kind of just get it in real quick, and then just you know, you could be fucking just like this. Give her a little kiss or whatever. Kind of look around, make sure no security guards are fucking looking at you. You know, you're hitting it. You know, and then just do it for a couple of minutes. Make her go, oh, and you go, okay, hey, we should get back to our friends. I don't want to get too crazy right now, but we could definitely do this later on. And she'll go, okay, yeah. So you pull it out, tie the condom in a knot, put the condom back in your pocket, and then you know, she's gonna kind of fix herself up. She had fun because she's like, well, I just met this guy and he put his dick inside me. That's fucking. She'll think that's pretty hot, and then of course she kind of she'll clean herself up real quick, you know, right? And then her girlfriend will probably come back from the bathroom or whatever, and she'll be like, what's up? And you're like, oh my god. Gets crazy like that, but I mean, at least here in Vegas. Anyway, Hope you guys liked that presentation. I hope you got some great value out of that. This is Pickup 101 right here. So now you guys know the basics of pickup. In Pickup 102, we're gonna basically get deeper into this game, teach you some more tips and tricks. So make sure that you subscribe, leave a like, and anyway, again, contact information if you're interested in coaching and you want to really get this part of your life handled. Like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. But if you want to work with me one-on-one and hire me for the day, like I said, I do exclusive live infield one-on-one coaching. $250 for 2 hours, $1,000 for 4 hours, $2,000 for 8 hours, and also $100 an hour for Skype or Zoom coaching if you want to just get on and chat about your personal situation. But that's the number, 702-417-7714. This is my YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and that Facebook group where you can meet some other wingman. And definitely check me out on Amazon.com. I've got a book on there, like I said, The Ultimate Guide to Picking Up Girls with a Wingman, and my new best-selling book, 10 Steps to Success, where you can really learn more success and lifestyle stuff and really help to make yourself a more attractive man and become the best version of yourself. So at that, I want to say thanks for hanging out. I thank you for staying with the program. And if you're at home, if you want to keep going with this, I would say right now, take a 10-minute break, go get some lunch, get some drink, get some dinner, whatever you need to do. And then we'll see you on the next video for Pickup 102. All right. Thank you.